You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find. Welcome to the One More for the Good Guys podcast, where good guys gather to shed light on the good life, the people, and the good things that make it that way. I'm Mike McGill with my co-host, Jamie Akins. Now, raise your glass, lend us your ear, and let's have one more for the good guys. You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man. Well, hey, everybody, McGill Billy here.
I'm Jamie.
Welcome back to One More for the Good Guys. We're having appreciate all the support and you tuning in again this week. We have a very special guest with us this week, a longtime friend. And after some of the things she said already, since she's been here, I don't know how much longer we're going to be friends. But for now, we still love her. We're glad to have her with us. Miss Lilly Winburn.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
Not much.
So I was trying to remember the other day, and Lilly works. Okay, first things first.
First things first.
Are you a hairstylist? Are you a hairdresser? Are you a barber?
An artiste?
What do you call?
I say hairdresser just because I like that word.
You know,
but I don't really
dresser or hair.
Hairdresser. I don't know the combination. I don't know. I'm not highfalutin, so I mean, call me what you will.
Well, I'm always curious about that from somebody that's actually in the profession because, you know, with everybody that gets so butthurt these days of calling somebody the wrong name.
Yeah, I don't care. You can call me. I'll answer just about anything. Even if I don't like it.
But Lilly, so she's a hairdresser, and they had a little swap meet, get together, beer drinking festival down at their her place of business.
Yes.
Lefty's Barbershop.
Yes.
Down on Chickamauga here in Knoxville. But we got to talking, and this came up that day, and I thought about it, and I said what I said, but then I came back and I started thinking about it. And I'm not sure, but I think I said I met you first at the shed, but I think I met you long before the shed.
Probably. Neither of us would remember because we'd probably about 12 beers deep. And you look kind of familiar.
Yeah.
Don't I know you from somewhere? I get that a lot.
Well, I think about how long I've known Cindy. And obviously, with you all being in the same field.
But I knew Cindy before I went to work for her. In fact, I was working at the shed when she was like, hey, she came down for a show one night and she was like, hey, I heard you were doing hair. How do you like your job? And I was like, well, I fucking hate it. And she was like, well, come by the shop sometime. And and then I did. And then I ended up working for her for 10 years. So that was pretty cool. But I knew Cindy from the Long Branch when she worked down there because that was my favorite haunt when I was a kid. Right.
Okay. And I've been in Long Branch a few times, but I never really hung out there.
Oh, you should have. It was awesome. You would have loved it.
I was there a few different times. That at least that I remember.
Yeah,
you look like you've been there a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't always look like this either, though.
Right.
Well, that's true.
I mean, probably back when during that time, that many years ago, I was probably looked like a used Bible salesman.
Well, you probably would have still fit in. I mean, you'd be amazed. It was a place for everybody.
Yeah. But I was I had said something to somebody down there about that. But I think we knew each other before then. I mean,
who knows? I mean, I've known all kinds of people. Like, Knoxville is such a fun place because you just, like, you meet people and you run into them randomly. And sometimes you got to, bounce off of them a few times before it sticks, you know?
Well, I know so you worked for Cindy 10 years. I knew you before that.
Yeah. So I guess it's been a long time then.
Yeah. So I would say at least 15.
Yeah, because I was working at the shed, obviously, before I went to work for Cindy. And I think maybe for a little while after I started working there, I was still working at the shed a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. It seemed like you were just, when I was playing up there a lot, it seemed like you were just kind of part-time up there. You were just coming up there slinging beers.
During the shows on the weekends. Yep.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was a great way to subsidize my very small income when I first started doing hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to build that clientele up to, that you're, they're not going to call you Lilly Rockefeller, but you get to the point to where you're yourself that you're established. And you've like, hey, I've turned a page here.
It definitely takes a few years. I've been doing it for so long and in the same place for so long that I think that really helps, and I think it was the right place too, because I worked at another big salon in town and I did not love it, but I didn't also love the type of clients that it attracted either. And you got to find your people. That's the biggest thing. Just like anything else, you got to find your people.
Right. Well, yeah, that's for sure. Because, we've been talking about that as well, with some ventures that we're going to have coming up here in the future. And, it's like you want to get the right clientele for the right thing,
Well, and that's another thing too. You don't
not to be hoity-toity by any means, but you gotta,
Well, and you want to enjoy work. Like you don't want to go working for people. Even though I work for myself, I still am working for my clients, and you don't want to work for people you don't like.
Right.
I feel real lucky. I literally get to hang out and talk shit with my friends all day and make them look cute. And that's the most ideal job I can think of.
Right. Where, so you always been in Knoxville?
No, as a very young child, I actually grew up in upstate New York. That's where my dad and his family's from. But
are you a Yankees fan?
No, I don't. I'm not a sports ball fan. I don't know how any of that works.
You talked about this up front, didn't you? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I wasn't
Go
listening.
ahead.
I'm sorry, Jamie, I wasn't listening.
I'm sure you weren't.
Carry on, dear.
Well, I know nothing about sports. And actually, I listened to a couple of episodes of your podcast beforehand to kind of have maybe some idea of what might happen.
Oh, and they were sports heavy?
Well, one of them was, so I just did listen to a different one. Not that I have anything against sports, but as somebody that didn't grow up playing sports and I don't understand how they work, it just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, sure.
But I do like all the fanfare. Like that, actually, my favorite part of sports events isn't the sports. It's like the bands and the flyovers. Everybody's drunk and wearing the same clothes. Now that stuff, I can get into all that part.
Right.
Yeah.
The tailgates, the parties.
Yeah, you get a hamburger and a beer and everybody's wearing orange and white, shaking little pom-poms.
Yeah.
That is right up my alley. But then the sports start and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why am I here? So, yeah, I grew up as a young child in upstate New York, which really isn't much different than East Tennessee.
I was getting ready to say, where at up there?
Near in the Finger Lakes region.
Okay, yeah.
The guy that lived next door to us raised sheep.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was pretty
it's beautiful
pretty pastoral, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it was beautiful until they built a dump down the street from our house, and then we had to move.
Okay.
So I've seen it all.
Now, what did Dad do?
My daddy is still a trucker.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a fine breed here.
Hey, I love it.
I do too.
I got right there on the...
yeah.
Keep it moving.
Come on, Daddy. On 18-wheeler.
Alabama. I was thinking more of a roll on, Big Mama.
Looking at the world through a windshield.
Yeah, looking at the world through. I love that truck driving shit. I love that type of music. The back in the day.
I love all of it except dealing with the truck drivers.
Yeah.
That's the business I'm in. That's what I do.
Jamie owns a trucking business.
Oh, no.
Freight business. So, yeah.
So this is like hanging out with my daddy and Mike McGill. Oh, this will be fun.
Yeah.
I've never met Jamie before, so this will be new to me. But we're gonna get on just fine because we already know each other now.
There's not much to talk about. So at any rate.
All right. Yep. Nailed it.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm doing the editing for this shit.
That disappears.
You ain't gonna edit nothing.
You're right.
Okay. So Dad was a trucker, upstate New York. What
still is a trucker.
Yes.
Still is a trucker. Oh,
Pardon me. So what brought you all to Knoxville?
Well, like I said, they literally built a dump down the street from our house. And I'm sure
that was code for fuck it, let's go to Tennessee.
Well, I think my parents had been considering it for a while. And I think a lot of it, you're seeing it now, like the cost of living in other states is so much higher. And especially we were pretty poor. And that was pretty typical of where I grew up. So you don't know any different because everybody else is poor too. But our quality of life drastically improved within a not terribly long amount of time. Like by the time I was out of high school, it was like going from being poor to being middle class in a period of 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So where did you go to school?
I went to Farragut High School.
All right.
I know. My 20-year reunion's in a few weeks.
Uh-oh.
Just aged yourself.
Yeah. Well, I went to my 10.
I'm still cute.
Are you going to go?
I did not love high school, but I'm curiosity gonna kill the cat because I just want to see. I just want to see what people are up to. Not that I really care because I don't even remember most of these people. I don't remember what I did, last month half the time. So
I went to my 10 year. I did too. I did not go to my 20. I've started to, and for whatever reason, I just was like, nah, I'm not going. Kind of wish I had, just to kind of like you. I know when I went to my 10, it was really a good thing because I got to meet up with, I got to meet up with several other people that I had knew back then that I didn't, that I just run out of contact with, Did you go to your 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sounds like it was a lot of fun.
Well, I had to set it up. We had to plan it because there were only
12 of you that graduated.
Well, sort of, but yeah, basically they closed our school. Some of us graduated early, some didn't. And I won't go to another one. I think
why? Because you'd have to do it again.
I feel like I spend every day with these people on social media. I don't need to go see you.
Yeah. I don't really follow anybody I went to high school with. I think that's part of the allure to me, too, is because I don't know what the hell these people are doing. Not that I really care either, but it could be fun.
My part. I don't really. It's okay. I don't care.
I ran back into like a group of girls that I had went from K through 12 with, So when I first started school, I went to Mascot, which was just over here on the hill. And we did
on was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And we were there for like 2 or 3 years. And then they built a new school over on Rutledge Pike called East Knox. Well, we were there for like 2 or 3 years. And then they integrated everybody to go into Carter Middle. And then that's where I wound up going there and then high school. But there were a few of those kids that I went to all 3 of those schools with, K through 12. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Seeing the neighborhood kids again and what they had gotten into and what they were doing. And then I ran into Robbie Humphreys. And of course, he and I weren't real close buddies, like friends in school, a little more as acquaintances. But I ran back into him, and then we started running around together some and doing a lot of things with and working the concessions and doing all the different stuff. So it was, I kind of feel like, I hope I didn't miss out on anything by not going to the 20,
I know. I don't think I'll feel like I missed out on anything, but I just want to go see. And honestly, I still have a few of my clients I went to high school with. So the people that I really want to see and catch up with, I already knew. Yeah. So I don't think I'd miss out on much.
It was pretty funny. I had a show in Nashville. I had not RSVP'd. but I had played a show and I was going to be in Nashville that weekend, and I wound up leaving instead of staying that extra night in Nashville, and I just drove on back. So
you could have gone.
No, well, this was for the 10, so I did.
Yeah.
So once I got here, though, I was in full stage gear. I mean, stage clothes.
Oh,
so I
even
had
better. See,
rhinestone, $200 shirts.
Did you leave with a wife?
No, I could have.
Yeah,
but I didn't want a wife.
Try hard enough.
I didn't want a wife.
Okay, well, is that your one regret from your 10-year reunion that you didn't bring back a wife?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
That's up there in the pro list.
Yeah, I think that's the one more for the good guys.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. But any rate, so I don't know. 20 probably would have been just the same people, but
the one to go to.
I don't know.
I
didn't do it, so ain't no use fucking talking about it. I guess.
It'd be nice to say that 20 was the last one they had for us, but it was.
They just keep having them, don't they?
Well,
they don't,
now
just
they're
don't
doing
stop.
it like on the 5th years too. So like there's 25, and I'm
wow, your class is really involved.
33 years this year for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yours would have been 30.
These people just don't have friends, or what? Like, come on, guys. 33. We need a hobby. Somebody here needs a hobby.
Well,
exactly. Maybe invite some of them on the podcast.
I'd rather
Have you thought
not.
about it?
I know. We did. Well, actually,
What?
we did. We had a podcast a couple of weeks ago with a friend from high school.
we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And?
So,
Well, I mean, I talk to him every day. We live in the same neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
And we've been best friends since we're 5.
but I hadn't seen
But
him
he hadn't seen
several
him in
years.
So that was fun. But
That was good.
No offense to all you high school classmates. I like you well enough to whatever, but
Just don't come on my podcast and don't invite me to another reunion. Thank you.
well, sort of what she said.
Yeah, sort of what I just said.
But see, I didn't graduate from Carter like he did.
Right.
'cause
Where'd you
they-
graduate
Holston.
from? Oh,
Yeah,
Holston.
Holston.
Okay.
That was
Yeah. Holston was a good school. I had lots of friends at Holston
yeah.
back in the day.
I mean, what constitutes a good school, though? Did you learn anything?
No, fuck that don't matter.
I didn't learn a goddamn thing.
Listen, much like now, I already knew everything.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So
what was I thinking?
Yeah, evidently you wasn't.
I wasn't. You're right. Thanks for calling me out on that.
Houston. Holston was a good school. I went to church down in that area. So a lot of the kids I went to church with were Holston kids. And then I worked down there at the old Kroger. And so all those students, mostly all of them were Holston kids. So I knew a lot of kids from there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We didn't know anybody from Farragut though.
No, this is like a whole nother planet for like kids in Farragut. Actually, I went to my 10-year and a lot of them never left Farragut and married their high school sweethearts at the 10-year. We'll see. That's another reason why I want to go to the 20. It's like, look, you still living in Farragut? You still married to the same guy?
Uh-huh. Did you get rid of that old shrew or that old battle axe?
Well, I think people just their life over there, it's like so
or that
zeroed
big
in.
dummy, that big meathead you married from school.
Yeah. But I mean, their lives are just so just this one thing, and like you're expected to do the thing, and they just do it until I guess they lose their minds. I don't know. A lot of them become swingers.
I just don't. You know what kills me? Speaking of Farragut, but does it amaze you how much it's grown up and developed? Like, because it didn't always used to be that way.
Yeah,
I'm a little older than you.
Yeah,
and
a bunch of farms.
I mean, back then,
but it's not grown as much as I thought it would.
Really?
It's got a whole shopping center complex.
Yeah, it does, but
37 of them.
Yeah, I know.
When we moved down the restaurant down there, I went down to
that's right, yeah.
Sam and Andy's down there next to El Mezcal.
Yeah.
we were working on the store, restaurant. I walked in there and I was telling him about us. And he said, the owner, he said, you didn't. Now, I'm repeating this story, Farragut, so don't shit on our podcast. But he said, you didn't move into Farragut, did you?
Why? You don't belong here.
And I said, no. He said, good. It's the worst place to do business in America. He said, I've been here 38 years and they do not want us to be in business.
Wow. Well, then how's he been in business for 38 years? Well, how does that work? Money laundering. That's how it works.
He went into this whole thing and was talking about it, but I don't know. I don't think it's grown as much as I thought it would.
I mean, it's just a bunch of junk, a bunch of chain junk.
Yeah.
You got a Costco.
But I mean, I can remember like when we did in baseball, we had the state championships was in Farragut.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And going down there from here, it was like going to another country.
Yeah, you get past Brown Squirrel and you're in a different area.
Whoa, highfalutin.
Brown Squirrel was the marker. Right?
Yeah, and 40 only went so far. I mean, there was no exits off of it after so far. So you had to get off and get on Kingston Pike to go deep into Farragut. And it was just pretty much,
all day trip.
2-lane. Yeah. I mean, it was like 2
in a horse covered buggy uphill both ways, barefoot in the snow.
Bunch of fucking assholes. He didn't need no help. And evidently you don't need much help either.
Listen, you invited me, man.
I know.
So many regrets.
And we'll see about that. Hey, real quick, we forgot, but I'm smoking the 1926 Padron in the Tubo.
Ooh.
And we found these. We found a really good deal on these, and man,
might be the finest cigar we've ever had. I haven't started mine yet, but it's coming.
I decided to smoke this today and break the box because my birthday's on Sunday. And
happy birthday, Mike McGill.
Thank you, dear. So this will be my little treat to myself for my birthday.
Nice.
What are you smoking, Jamie?
Right now, I'm smoking this. What is this?
Read the label.
It was?
She's on it, isn't she?
We had her on twice, the first and last time.
We'll call her Lightning from here on out. Yeah. She don't strike the same place twice.
Nope.
Oh yeah, this is that La Palina Natural.
Yeah, that's a good smoke.
In Toro, I guess.
We found those on a really good deal.
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, I started this 2 hours ago.
Those are much more of an everyday.
Yeah, very good. But I'm gonna
economical.
Let that one die out and light up the big boy here.
Yeah.
Oh.
And what are you smoking?
Well, Lily is smoking a 2024 pack of Marlboro Smooths. It's like brushing your teeth with a cigarette. It is very light and delightful. I could smoke about 10 of these in one sitting and not want to. Well, I want to die tomorrow, but that's tomorrow's problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, Marlboro, send me free cigarettes.
Very good.
Sure they will.
You'll need to get on another podcast.
I know. Wrong podcast.
Oh, okay. So Farragut.
Yeah, enough about that.
What did you do in school? Did you study? Did you
I'm
study hair?
I'm an Asian girl. No, and we didn't have hair in Farragut High School.
Okay, so you're a little Asian girl.
They had cosmetology.
You were head of the math department. I mean, what are you telling me?
Let me tell you, Mike McGill.
Since you started this stereotypical bullshit, I'll jump right in.
I was really, really good at school.
Okay,
always good at school.
Good.
I liked reading. I can write pretty good, and I've just always tested real well. Yeah, I was really good at school. But then when I moved out of my parents' house and got my own apartment, I found drugs. And then I was like, well, fuck this school stuff. I'm going to go party. So I actually got like a full ride scholarship to UT. They even cut me a check every semester. And I went like for 1 week. And then I was like, this ain't for me. But I kept cashing the checks until they stopped sending them to me.
Yeah, well.
Well, then that's how my life of crime began.
And now you're out of prison.
Now that I'm out of prison, I'm back on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And working hard, hardly working.
And so I guess you studied at Tennessee School of Beauty? Yeah.
So actually, I did not go to beauty school till much later. I fucked around for a long time working in bars. Like you said, I worked at a couple of biker bars, not just the Shed. I worked at like Cowdy Joe's here in town.
Oh, yeah.
I worked at one when I lived in North Carolina for a while. I loved working in bars. It was just fun. It was just like fun people. But then I got knocked up and I panicked because I was like, oh God, I need a real job. And that's when I decided to go to beauty school because I had a couple other friends that had gone and done all right for themselves. And, it's only a year. And I did it and I was so bad at it. I was so used to being good at stuff that when I did it and I was bad at it, like I remember the first week of school, I came home crying because I didn't know how to use a curling iron. I was just like, oh God, how am I going to do this? But I stuck with it and I eventually got good at it. Only took me about 10 years, but finally got good at it.
All right. Well, I know I've known several people to do it. But
golly, we know a lot of people that I mean,
it's a working gal's career, and that's
what Serena does too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so much fun. Like I said, you get to hang out with your, like, all the skills that I garnered from bartending and messing around when I was younger. I can still use as a hairdresser, but I also just cut hair too on top of it. I feel like. I honestly, as terrible as this might sound, I feel like maybe hairdressing is my second thing. Like, I think a lot of people see me because they like the banter and they like the bullshit.
Sure.
And it's just fun for them to come in and see me and have a good laugh and then come out looking cute. It's
right. Well, my dad always said, the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut.
2 weeks.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what he used to say all the time. Well, if you hadn't have done that, is there something else you wish you would have done, or something else you could see yourself doing?
Absolutely not. I'm
now,
glad I'm
or
not.
Maybe the future.
I was actually kind of thinking about it the other day. I was like, what would I do if I couldn't do this? Like, what if I couldn't be a hairdresser? And I was like, the only other job that I could think of that I could do and not be miserable is maybe mowing lawns. If I had a zero-turn mower, I think I could maybe rule the world. Maybe that's why God made me a hairdresser, is so that, like, you guys couldn't handle it. I'd put everybody out of business. Me on a mower? Who wasn't going to pay me to mow their lawn?
It's kind of similar to what you're doing now, just for yards.
Yeah, just for yards, not heads.
Yeah. My dad used to have, that's so funny. My dad, in front of mom and dad's house, used to, instead of the fence around the front yard, he had hedges, Okay. And they were...
That's why he had 7 hedge trimmers.
Yeah. I don't mind trimming hedges either. I'm pretty good at that.
None of them worked. So long before I had ever went to Disney World or seen anything like that, my dad was always that guy that was he could have probably been a folk artist if he wanted to, because he had enough of the imagination and he had enough of the, I guess, coming from growing up in the Depression and stuff, that you just did with what you had, and you made stuff and you made stuff work. And, but he had these hedges and he started letting them grow and get taller and bigger. And back in those days, Walker Truck Company was here. So the mines were still operating.
Walker Brothers.
Yeah. And the mines were still operating. So there was dump trucks up and down this road all the time.
Cool.
Going too fast, busting people's windshield every other day, long before they had the 100 feet back,
the thing before, probably even before that. Yeah. I don't know, but
I got a story about that. Go ahead.
So, but these hedges he would let grow, and then for some reason one day he decided, and he trimmed both hedges that went the entire length of the front yard, and there was a sidewalk in between where the mailbox went. And he trimmed both of those things like big roly-poly caterpillars.
Oh, yes. That was what I was waiting for.
Antennas.
Yes.
And everything.
I bet Mama loved that.
Oh, my God.
No, that's so cool. I love shapes, especially with,
And he always used to say, I could be a barber if I wanted to.
He could. Actually, part of why I think I like shaping bushes is because it's kind of got the elements of like a haircut. It's like, oh, I want this shape. I need to round it out.
Very
on the end.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
I'll say that. If anybody, did he ever see that? That's probably too weird for him.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a correlation between head
why
trimming
that boy
and
got
head
scissor
trimming.
hands?
Yeah, he'd have been like,
This is stupid.
well, that's just stupid. I ain't watching this
Well,
shit.
that's the whole point of it, Dad.
When's Hondo come on?
That's the first date movie I went on was Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, really?
Did she kiss you?
I don't remember.
She's like, this is weird. I'm never going out with this boy again.
No, she picked it. I didn't.
Oh, and you were like, she's weird. I'm never going out with this girl again.
Yeah, it was a little something of that nature, but at East Town Mall.
I don't remember what the first date movie I went on. I know I went on I can remember a few different ones, but I don't know if I could remember the first date movie.
What's the most memorable date movie you've ever seen?
Probably My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, you blend.
Because I married that one.
She won an Oscar.
And then I found out she was the devil's sister.
Oh.
And I had to divorce her.
Aw.
So that would probably be the most memorable.
Okay.
Not very good memories. Thanks for bringing that up. Let's get back to high school.
Anyway, back to high school. The best time of Mike McGill's life.
It was not mine.
Yeah, it was not my best time of life either.
Man, I was just always, I never cared. I just kind of was there. I mean,
Yeah.
I never got really bullied or.
Except that one time with the trumpet.
Well, yeah.
Whoa, tell me about the trumpet.
Oh.
Come on.
Well.
Can't say something
I
like
think
that.
I've told it on here before.
Okay, well, just. Come on. Yeah.
Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come out with it.
Well, so I was in band. I did everything music.
Okay.
That's, in high school,
tracks.
everything music was, I played ball for a little while and then I was like, screw this. I can still go to all the games if I'm in the band.
Yep.
I can sing.
I don't have to run laps.
Girls love that.
Yeah.
You don't have to get hit
I don't have to
all the
run.
time.
I don't have to get a concussion. I don't have to throw up. I can still go to all the games. I can still hang out. And there's flag girls, cheerleader. I mean, this is stupid. I'm just going to be in the band. So I did everything music and loved it and was in the band. And we were marching one day out on the driving range where we practiced our halftime show for the next Friday that was coming up.
It's a parking
For the
lot.
football
We called it the
game.
driving range.
Yeah.
It's a parking lot. Yeah.
Big parking lot. And we were doing this exercise or this halftime show. So we had a group of students that were marching this way in a circle, and we were marching this way in a circle, right?
Yep.
So we were always coming in contact, so it's kind of like gears,
Yeah.
And I was coming through there, and this boy that was a trumpet player as well in my section coming through there marching, and he just hawks a big loogie in my face. Well, I mean,
that's pretty bad.
That's, from the era I was born in and from the time I grew up, that was about as bad as calling your mom a nasty name.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I hate to, I have a story too.
It was the worst.
Yeah.
And so I just had that whole time to think about it.
Did you wipe the loogie off?
Oh, yeah. I
Okay.
wiped it off, but I had that whole time.
Did you cold clock him when he came back around?
Whose story is this?
Okay.
So I had the whole time to think about it, and I knew I was going to see that guy again. And so when I did, I hit him, but instead of hitting him, I hit the end of that trumpet bell.
And then broke your hand?
As hard as I could. No, I mangled the trumpet bell.
And
teeth flew out and blood squirted everywhere. It was bad.
Well, I bet he never spit on you again, though.
He didn't spit on anything for at least probably 6 or 8 weeks. I don't think he chewed.
Yeah, he had to chew on the other side of his mouth for a while.
He didn't get the fame that the Hawk Tua girl got. No. I can tell you that.
Oh my God. Okay, so you want to hear my nasty spit story?
Sure.
It's not a Hawk Tua story. It's the opposite, actually.
Then I don't want to hear it.
Well,
I'm teasing.
So actually, this actually happened at the Long Branch. So I was at the Long Branch and I was, okay, if you think I'm a little shit now, imagine me at like 19 or 20 years old. I was 1 million times worse. Mm-hmm. And I'm at the bar at the Long Branch, drinking my beer, minding my own business. And this guy comes up and starts hitting on me. And he is not giving up. And I am being very short, very not into it, clearly not into it. And he doesn't stop. And I was like, I don't think you'd be interested in me. I'm pretty offensive. He was like, there's nothing you could do to offend me.
Oh my God.
And so my ass goes right in his face, which I know now I would never spit on anybody ever again. But man, did that piss him off, and he left me the fuck alone after that. Forever. And then actually, I think he wanted to kill me for about a decade. Like anytime I ran into him after that, I think, and he was a big dude, like he was huge.
Yeah.
Like, and every time I saw him after that, I was kind of like, oh, as I should have been. But man,
well,
do I regret it? I don't have any regrets, but that's probably about as close as I've ever come to regretting anything I've ever done. But man, like sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the outcome that you'd want to have, which is like, man, leave me alone. I don't know what else I need to tell you. Leave me alone. I'm going to tell you 5 times, leave me alone. And then the 6th time, I'm going to spit in your face, I guess.
Well, I mean,
I mean, it still wasn't cool, but that's my story.
Not cool. And it wasn't cool for me to knock the guy's teeth out either. But
yeah.
It's funny though.
They were.
Well, I know it's funny on this side years later.
For me, it's funny.
I mean, that man probably.
They were asking for it.
If they were able to salvage his teeth then, now they're probably gone because they've fallen out again. Well, I'm going to guarantee that. He has to have implants or dentures.
Maybe.
Hey, don't spit on anybody.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, I learned that lesson, and that man didn't even have to beat me up, but I knew that I fucked up immediately. But he did kind of challenge
you, saying there's nothing you could do.
Well, I was like, hold my beer. Hold my beer.
Oh,
so I had the anti-Hawk Tua experience in my lifetime as a girl.
Man, that's crazy.
Well, there's plenty more where that came from.
Well, of course. I mean,
that's not even the craziest thing I've ever done.
No. I would think of a crazy thing that I know you did.
Oh no! Are we telling stories?
We can.
Okay.
I mean, I'm an open book.
Okay.
Would be that you entered the demolition derby.
Oh man! Oh, that's okay. I was like, okay.
No, I'm not going to throw you under the bus.
Well, I opened myself up to it. I was like, we telling stories? Yes. I have done it not once, but twice because I had to make sure the second time. So the first time
you had to make sure of what? It wasn't a fluke?
It wasn't a fluke.
Or that you could still do it?
Both.
Or that you wanted to be back-to-back winner on it?
Well, maybe all 3.
Okay.
So the first time I entered in the demolition derby, one of my clients had mentioned that, obviously they do it at the fair every year, but he had mentioned that you can essentially rent a car from Junk Car Mafia for like $150. I was like, $150? Sign me up. So I did. And I had some friends with a couple of cans of spray paint. We showed up early so we could pick out my car and, fuck it up real good so it'd look cool so all my friends would know which car I was in. And the first time I entered, I actually won first place. Which
I was there.
Yeah. Well, which is one hell of an achievement because most of the people in it worked at the junkyard. So they do this not only do they do it every year at the fair, they do it like every other weekend for funsies. So the fact that they got beat by a little Asian girl that the whole time, I'm such a little
Who said Asian girls were bad drivers?
Best, worst driver ever, right here. And I even trolled these dudes beforehand. I'd be like blowing kisses and waving at them and winking at them. And they were just like, ugh. But I still won. And actually, they were really cool about it.
So how do you win?
you are the last car running. You smack like you
are moving.
Yeah. And like my strategy is like, you can't let them hit the front of your car because if they do, they'll smash your radiator and then it's over. So you want to back into people over and over again, and you got to protect your front end. So that's the key. But I think even if you get stuck, like if you can't move, you're out. Yeah.
So you entered it twice. You did this.
I think they give you a push, or they try to get you like once or twice or something like that. Like if you get stuck, or like if you're in a compromised position and you're stuck, they'll try to help. They see your car still running. Mm-hmm. But after that, if you're dead in the water, then
womp womp.
Then you're
Well, and the thing about
you're officially out of it.
When I first did it, it was just for fun. I didn't think I was going to win, but I read up a little bit on strategy. I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But when I got in there, at first I was like, oh my God, this is awesome, this is great, and then I got bam, like pounded really good a couple of times, and it actually like scared me.
I'm sure.
Terribly. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And
it was only $150.
It was only $150. And there was this one guy that was in a minivan, and I'll never forget it because it made me so mad. That is cheating. If you drive a minivan in the V8 smash up derby, you are a cheater, and they know it too because the body on those things is so heavy and tight. If they hit you, hitting a regular car is like pee. It's like bumper cars. You get hit by a minivan, you know it. Also, if you ever get in a wreck with a minivan, you'll want to die. You're gonna want to die because if like we're only going like 10, 15 miles an hour. If you got hit by a minivan going 60, you're dead. You'll want to be dead. So that guy hit me a couple of good times, and it scared me because it was so violent, and they make you wear a helmet. So you're getting whiplash also because you're a bobblehead.
Right.
So it scared me really bad. And I was like, what am I doing? But then he hit me a couple more times, and then it just pissed me off. And then in my head, something switched, and I was like, I don't care if I don't win, but if that guy wins, I'm hopping out of my car and I'm beating his windshield in with my helmet. I was so mad. I never played sports, so I never had that crazy adrenaline like Hulk smash.
Yeah.
That is the only time I've ever had it. I think I could have wrestled a bear afterward because I was so juiced that I was like, nope, that guy can't win. And then I won. And it was awesome.
Do you remember what kind of car it was? What you drove?
I have pictures of it. I can't remember what the first car was because now it's probably been like 10 years ago now. Yeah. But it was awesome. And I didn't even realize I won. I was still trying to go, and they were like, no, stop. It's over.
Well, it was so funny because I was helping Rob at the time, and we did all the food on that.
Yeah, the corn dogs.
On the motor side, on the motor park side. And I think it was him. Somebody came up. It was him or Macho or somebody. But somebody's like, you ain't gonna believe this shit. Lily's out there in the demolition derby.
No way.
And I said,
not her.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I'll be back. I gotta go see this.
Yeah.
But okay, so you won it that year. What was the prize?
Well,
do you remember?
Yes, I do remember. And I also remember
glamour shots.
No. I also remember that my driver's side was so caved in, I couldn't get the door out. I had to climb out the window, and I was so excited that I won that I got on top of the car and jumped up and down like Donkey Kong a couple of times. But I got so I won $500, which whatever. But the coolest thing I got was a trophy that's about, I don't know how many feet tall, 3.5 feet,
4 feet.
4 foot tall trophy. I've never won a trophy in my life. It was the coolest thing ever. That trophy's still in my living room. It's the only trophy I own, but it's the biggest trophy. And actually, from now on, if I ever win anything else, I only want to win something if I can also get a sizable trophy. I don't care about money. I don't care about clout. I don't care about any of that shit. I want a trophy.
Well,
so you didn't win the second time.
Okay, Jamie, just rub it into my face a little bit. So the second time,
keeping it going.
I didn't want to go 2 years in a row because I knew, like, even though the Junkyard Boys were cool with it at the time, I knew they weren't cool with letting a lady win, and there was no way in hell they're going to let the same lady win twice in a row. So I skipped a year, and then I was like, okay, I need to go back for me. Because maybe it was a fluke. Maybe I just won because it was an off day. Maybe Jesus just loves me the most. I don't know. But I need to know, am I good at this or not? So I re-entered a couple of years later, and I think I placed third. So it was enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm pretty good at this. But also, let me add this, and I'm not saying this to be petty or anything, but I ran out of gas. And if I had not run out of gas, who knows?
All right. So now to get a breath, get you a drink. Did they shortchange you on the gas on purpose?
No, because they drag all the cars out. I think they intentionally put as little gas as possible in case of fire. And so the other weird thing about it is there were so many entrants that year that we had to do 2 rounds. I made it through the first round and I mentioned it to a couple of people. I was like, hey, I think I'm almost out of gas. And they're like, no. You're fine. There should be a gallon of gas in there. It's fine. I was like, no, it feels like it's running out of gas because like my motor was still going. There wasn't any fluid spewing out. I was like, it just doesn't have enough gas to get it to move.
All right.
But I can't say for sure, but that's all I needed. Like I didn't need to win again. I just needed to know I was good at it. So, my demolition derby days are over now.
So you may or may not remember this, but back in the day, on Happy Days, there was a hot lady who also was a demolition derby driver.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know this?
No, because people called, yeah.
Do you remember what her name was?
It was Fonzie's girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember what her name was.
Pinky Tuscadero.
That's what it was. And people called me that for a hot minute. It was cute.
And she had a special move.
Oh, I don't
to take them out.
What was it?
And it was called the Malachi Crunch.
Malachi Crunch.
You heard it here first.
Was this before they jumped the shark? Or
yeah.
Well,
way before shark jumping. But no, I remember that, and I was looking. I was thinking about you the other night, and I was looking back through some old pictures on your Facebook account, and I was like, I got to remember to ask her about
remember that time
the demolition derby thing.
No, it was cool. And my son was younger. I think he was like 6 or 7. And he was there and everybody was like, it was so cute because my son is like a little old man. And he always has been, even when he was little. He doesn't get worked up over anything. He's very calm. But people sent me pictures of him just losing his mind during the derby. Like he was so excited that his mom, like he was excited for his mom. I was like, that never happened. Like that was also cool. I was like, oh, my son thought I was cool for about 30 seconds. Yeah. That's rad, man. That's
that don't
so
happen
cool.
often.
Never.
Yeah.
Now I'm definitely never cool. I guess I'm going to have to enter another demolition derby to prove myself to my son.
Hey, we'll get you in a good guy's car.
Good Guy Cigars car.
Well, actually, I was going to ask you guys because as I was driving up here, I was thinking about it. So didn't Junk Car Mafia just catch on fire recently?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? It was on the news.
Honey, I don't know. Well, you want me to make something up?
I guess that's what everybody else does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Well, I was wondering, though.
Yeah, they caught on fire, and the guy who runs it, the owner, actually, just the day after it caught on fire, choked to death on a stack of pancakes at the Lions Club community breakfast.
No.
Well, so there you go. I just made something up.
Good job. Actually, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason why I asked that too, other than it's right down the street and you should know, is that I was wondering if they would be like, because they usually provide cars or you can rent whatever cars from them for the demolition derby and the fair's in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah, it's coming
Maybe
up.
I do have to come back.
What is it? What is the fair this year? I mean,
it's always
the same
in September.
But it's the second week. I think that's when it's the second weekend.
I think it starts
on like the 6th or something, 7th.
It starts the weekend we go to Chicago.
Okay.
that Friday. It starts the day we leave.
So it okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because it starts on the weekend. I do remember that.
It starts on a Friday. I think we leave on the 6th. I think it's 6th when it starts.
How many, so were you a big fair goer?
I love the fair.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care if you don't like the fair. You don't have to like the fair. I love it. I love everything about it. What's not to love? There's livestock. People put in put in stuff that they've made to get judged. There's smash up derby. There's rodeo. I have not been to
Tractor pull.
Tractor pull. Yeah. There's not been a year.
Completely safe rides to put your children on.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
Okay. I love my son, so I don't let him ride the rides. But if you don't love your kids, put them on the rides because I think we got to support local business, which isn't even local because they ain't from here, but whatever. I love the fair, though. Every year I go, I find something new. I find the same stuff that I love it. I love everything about it. It's so tacky. But it's like the best kind of tacky ever. What's not to like? It's $8. Like, what do you got to lose?
I'm like you. I still, anytime I go, I still like to go up and see the 4-H stuff and
Let's
and
go
all
to the
of that
fair.
Stuff. Yeah, we will.
We will. That's something somebody would say if they aren't planning on going to the fair with you. We will.
I go every year.
All right.
Just to see the ducks go down the slide.
Yeah.
Aw, yeah.
That's
we'll go. For
okay.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to hold you to it.
I got her hook up on food.
And then I got it on video too. So if you're just like, I can't go that day, I'd be like, you said.
I'm glad you reminded me of
that. You said.
Anyway. Yeah, no, I'm saying. What do you want me to say? I'll think about it.
Nope. We're going.
Wait a minute.
Right. I know. I like this is being filmed because I think part of who I am is I move a lot, so you got to capture that.
Serenity now. Serenity now.
You got to be able to capture that.
No.
It's getting captured. For sure.
No, I've always enjoyed the fair. I didn't get to go for a long time because
COVID.
Well, of course that, but no, I was just I worked it. I was always helping Rob and stuff.
So, pro tip
with concessions.
Don't work the fair. Go to the
no. I'm not.
Fair.
I'm not working the fair anymore. Those days are behind me.
But I will say, I loved going to the fair because your friends are. It is part of the fun of going to the fair is that your friends are working the fair and they're like, "You want a corn dog?" And you're like, "Duh."
Yeah. Funnel cake.
Yeah. Do I need one? No. But yeah.
It's once a year.
It's once a year.
Stromboli, of course. A sausage pinwheel? Yes.
Yeah, man. And all the lights, I love it. That's the thing. That's the thing about it.
It's the smells.
Yeah, the lights, all of it, the ambiance.
But I do miss the Midway.
Yeah, I miss the Midway.
That might have been before your time.
It was before my time, but I can still enjoy it for what it is because it's still great.
The other side was full too. The other side of the road.
Well, maybe we need to be you need to bring this back.
But you had to be committed.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you got to be like a teenager, that you were going to go, and if you had a special lady friend that you took to the fair, that you were going to go through that fucking tunnel, because all hell could break loose at any point in time.
It did.
What
do you mean?
Just fights.
Like a melee?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Coming through. So I dated.
Well, I'm in.
I dated a girl from Holston one year.
Just that 1 year.
I think it was just for about a year. But at any rate, she was a really sweet person and good looking and volleyball player. And we got over to the Midway. We made it through the tunnel unscathed. And of course, I had a gold rope chain on. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody had a rope chain. If you didn't have a rope chain and some
I want a rope chain.
TNC or OP and or some shell toe Adidas on, you wasn't
nobody.
You wasn't doing shit. You ain't
shit.
You couldn't get laid on a troop train. So, anyway, we get over there and we're standing in line, and this guy goes, "That's a nice chain,"
Why, thank you, sir.
And
thanks for noticing.
I don't think he really meant it that way.
Well,
it was like,
doesn't matter how he meant it.
It kind of did. Because it was more like, noticing. Hey, yo, what's a nice chain?
Did he try to grab it off you?
And he got it. And when he did, I mean, I just laid him out.
Nice.
And there we went,
Melee.
Got into it. Yeah, and there's 15, all shapes, sizes, colors, and it's all hell's broke loose,
In
well,
the
maybe, okay.
No, we made it through the tunnel.
Okay.
We were over because they used to put the double Ferris wheel over on the midway side. Yeah. So we were over there at that, kind of in that area.
Mike McGill,
before you got into like the freak shows.
Oh yeah.
Mike McGill, I would never tell you what to do, but one thing I might suggest that you not do is maybe wear your best gold chain to the fair off of Magnolia Avenue.
Well, at this point at all. So
I mean, maybe I don't know nothing.
Well. You done?
Yeah.
I was like 16.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing.
You didn't have
I didn't know nothing.
Well, obviously not. Did you get your chain?
No, I got it.
Okay.
No, you got kicked out though, didn't you?
Hey, ain't nobody eating my fucking cornbred.
This is mine. You're gonna have to take it from me.
Ain't nobody eating my cornbread. No, I got it. But of course had to get it repaired because it busted the clasp off of it. But at any rate, I went back every year. I still had fun. It was still a fair.
Exactly.
Best fair concert.
Ever?
Yeah, for you. Whatever. First thing pops in your mind or the best?
I don't know about best. Like some of the more fun ones. We went and saw Travis Tritt last year, who I love, and that was great. But we went and saw Poison, and actually it was really good. It was really good. I liked it. Bret Michaels ain't got no hair anymore, and he uses a bandana to cover it up. But I mean, who am I to judge? Maybe one day I also won't have hair. Probably not, but who knows?
Did any of them break a hip?
No, actually, he is one of the 80s rock stars that hasn't aged as terribly as most, and especially considering they all went hard.
Well, he's diabetic, so he's had.
Oh, well, if that's the least of your problems as an 80s rock star, you don't have hepatitis, you're not in a wheelchair, you're not dead, you win.
I didn't say he didn't have hepatitis. I'm just saying he's type 1 diabetic, childhood diabetic, I think.
Also, it wasn't even from drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just had to take it a little easier than most, I'm saying.
Oh, and that's what's created the longevity. Probably. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's had to lay off the brown liquor and so forth.
So, okay. Well, what kind of liquor can you drink if you are a type 1 diabetic is the real question.
Vodka.
Oh, well.
No carbs and sugar alcohol. It doesn't raise your blood sugar.
Bam. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Not as much as like beer or brown liquor, stuff like that.
And I'm glad I don't have type 1 diabetes.
Or any diabetes. Doesn't matter.
My God.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's a horrible, horrible disease.
Nope. Yeah.
It kills more people every year than...
It's going to be the one they cure first, though, I think. I think they're close.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think they're close.
Yeah.
I hope so. My mom's diabetic, and, it's just a big thing. It's just constantly have to monitor and watch that stuff.
What's your best fair concert?
My best fair concert? I've got a couple.
Me too.
I mean,
me too.
Not, and I'm saying fair concerts, not concerts across the board, but
this fair.
I thought that was the whole
specifically
point.
This fair.
No, I said fair concerts. What was your favorite fair concert?
I know. What was your favorite fair concert?
I've got a couple. I remember. One would be. I remember seeing Marty Stewart and Travis Tritt back in the day when it was the
fair?
When it was the no hats tour.
Here's a quarter.
Yeah, when they were both had, hits charting and everything. They were big shits. That was a really good concert. And then it's a toss up because I was really young when I got to see Jerry Clower there once.
Oh yeah. He came a lot.
And he was a comedian storyteller from the deep South. I mean, if you haven't ever seen or heard any old Jerry Clower stuff, you can go to YouTube and watch some of it. But it was, and it's all hokey,
clean,
you know. Yeah. But as a kid, you only seen this guy on one of the 3 fucking TV channels you had in your entire life. And he comes out, you know, in the, but at any rate, that was a fun one. And I guess the other one would have been, early. We talked about it the other night, but, Charlie Daniels.
That's mine.
He put on a hell of a show.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I saw him twice at the fair. That's my favorite too.
And that would have been, I think we were trying to figure out when it would have been. It would have probably been like 83, 84.
Back when he was still cool.
Yeah.
I saw him after he wasn't cool anymore, and I was really disappointed.
I seen him twice. I saw him in the early 90s too, when he had that Simple Man song that came
I seen
out.
him then too, but I remember seeing him real early.
I saw Dolly, Barbara Mandrell.
At the fair?
Oh, yeah. Saw Charlie Daniels twice. Saw Ronnie Millsaps twice.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I saw Joe Diffie.
Yeah. I seen Marty, Travis, Jerry Clower, Charlie Daniels Band.
Saw Lee Greenwood.
Who are you going to see this year?
Sammy Kershaw.
I don't know who's on the dock. We'll see.
There one year.
Let's see who we're going to see.
I don't even know I don't know who's on the bill.
Ludacris. Pat Benatar.
Oh, no, that
Hanson.
would probably be a good one. Pat Benatar.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about Hanson. Or Ludacris, really.
All right. So what about your worst fair experience? Let's really
worst fair experience.
By the time you got your chain.
Was that the worst
probably,
one?
Yeah, probably.
All right, Jamie, what was your worst fair experience?
I'll tell you, just a quick one though, that was a really good one. Was you remember Terry Landale?
Oh yeah.
You know, he was the bail bondsman here, and he did the Who's Your Daddy, the K-Town Daddy wrestling show and all that. And he's just a fucking shit heel motor mouth. I mean,
maniac.
Yeah, just a maniac. And I mean that from like wrestling speak. Not that he was, I don't know what kind of person he was necessarily, but his character was just a chicken shit heel, motor mouth, always had something to say, loud, just
great wrestling.
You wanted to whip his ass just looking at him, just because he had that aura coming off of him. Well, it was me and Trisha Jean and I think Rob was there. Yeah, Rob was there, and somebody else, maybe Alice Fleener, and I don't know. There was a big pack of us. We all went, right? And we're coming around the side over there, like going down to Kittyland or to the tunnel, and where the gazebo is, he's up there. And back in the day, it was always where the congressman set up and gave away water.
John Duncan water.
Yeah. So he was there, and he was in a Duncan booth. And he was talking shit to everybody that passed, And of course, and I mean, he was the perfect one. If you needed a loudmouth fucking guy that was going to get $5 out of your pocket to come up there and waste, it
was a genius move.
It was a genius move. It was the only one you could have got. There would have been nobody any better. So we get up there, and
you're
Rob,
like, give me $20. Trisha Jean, give me $20. I need $20.
Well, Rob started it. I was just gonna walk on by.
Can't walk past that. I couldn't either. I'd be like,
And Rob was like, I'm dunking his fat ass. I was like, all right.
Did he?
No.
Well,
he don't get it. And he looks at me and he goes, look at this biggin. Look at this biggin here. I bet he's from Granger County. Wonder how many Granger County tomatoes he's got in that big belly of his. And man, before I knew it, he had me.
How many dollars did you waste trying to dunk this man? Nailed it.
I went up and paid my $5, and I dunked him twice. Dunked him twice.
Yes. 2 out of 3 times.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's so good.
God.
So sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's perfect.
I just flashed back to it.
So it wasn't the worst fair experience. That was the best.
That was not the worst.
Best fair experience, I think.
No, it was just, but just when you said experience and fair together, I thought about that one. So what was your worst?
Oh, well, I was going to ask Jamie, what was your worst fair experience? Worst. Better be good.
Easy.
Yeah.
So my mama.
I shit myself on the tilt-a-whirl.
I'm getting there.
Uh-oh.
My mama liked to park in Burlington.
Of course.
And walk to the Midway side.
How far is that?
Quarter mile.
That's not far.
Not far. But it's on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
And?
Well, I'm getting to the end. We're kids, Well, we went back-to-back nights. But the first night, the fair on the weekend stays open to midnight. So we got our money's worth, and we're walking back. And on the corner, we can see it. We're parked on this side at the church down there. On the corner, looks like 27 gang members. I mean, we're, my mama just walks right through the middle of them, whatever.
Yeah, they're busy operating a business.
And so with no problem, we get in the car. And one of my buddies was kind of sulking, and my mom was like, what's wrong with you? And he wouldn't answer and waited till we got down the road a while. And he said, one of those guys hit me in the back of the head real hard when I was walking through there.
No.
You know how you were talking the other day? You're talking about things that happened that could have gone the other way?
Yeah.
He was smart enough to wait because he knows she would have gone back there.
Yeah, I would have.
And we'd have been dead.
Yeah.
So the
Your
worst.
mom would have been dead.
Yeah, no.
You kids would have been fine in the car.
The second night is the worst experience. So mom was a water safety instructor. She taught lifeguards to swim.
Yep.
So the next night we got over there daylight, noon. She took a whistle and she blew that whistle from the car till we got in the fair.
Like a rape whistle.
Yeah.
Or a coach's whistle.
Or a coach's whistle.
Because we're not allowed to say that word.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
at
okay.
all?
No, not really.
Okay. Oh, shit. Well,
you are. You're
you
a guest.
are. You're fine.
You're a guest. So, and then on the way back, whole way, tweet. The most embarrassing thing that ever happened.
That's the worst thing that happened to you at the fair.
Yeah.
Was your mom embarrassed you at the fair?
Yeah. But at that time, it was monumental.
I'm sure. How old are you?
I'll be 50 this year.
No, how old were you?
7, 8. Little.
I embarrassed my son worse than that on the reg.
It was awful.
Ugh.
So tell us about your time on the tilt-a-whirl.
It wasn't on the tilt-a-whirl. So.
What was not the tilt-a-whirl? What was the other one?
Gravitron.
Gravitron is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
We used to get on that one and turn upside down.
Before the Gravitron, there's the black hole.
Yeah.
Right there up there next to the gazebo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We used to turn sideways and turn upside down while you were spinning.
You think you can still do that now?
Fuck yeah.
You want to have a contest? Actually, when we go to the fair later, we're all going to do that. We're doing it. We're doing it.
I ain't turning it upside down.
I'll
ride the Gravitron.
Don't be scared.
I'm not turning upside down.
Come on, Jamie. Don't be scared. You haven't had your worst experience at the fair yet. I'm telling you right now.
The Himalaya. That was another one.
You want to go faster?
Yeah. You want to go faster?
We're playing Welcome to the Jungle.
You in the jungle, baby. You gonna die. So my worst fair experience. So my parents, their band when they were dating was REO Speedwagon, and I bought them tickets to see REO Speedwagon at the fair. And Duffy,
I can't fight this feeling.
Yeah, oh man, and they were so excited. So I wanted to make it a whole thing for them. So I took them out to eat first. So me and Duffy took May and Papa out to eat. And we went to Senor Taco, and I split some shrimp fajitas with my mom like a dumbass. Because why would you do that? Especially right before going to the fair.
Wow.
I know that now. I know that you also probably don't need to order seafood at a Mexican restaurant, especially one like Senor Taco before they clean their act up.
Or wear a gold chain. Go ahead.
Yeah, like things you learn.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get down to the fair, and I got.
See how I let that just go by without trying to make fun of you?
Don't worry, you'll get your chance to make. You're gonna make plenty. Don't worry.
In front of the entire free world.
I have no shame anymore.
So tell us about your shrimp and Himalayan bobsled experience.
So I have Duffy with me. He's probably like 7 or 8, and we go to the fair with my parents, and we drop mom and dad off at the Homer Hamilton Theater so they can go watch the band and go hold hands and make out or whatever. But Duffy and I go to the Demolition Derby, and we sit there and we're having a great time. We're rah rah, hey hey, and when it's over, you know that the amphitheater or whatever, the outdoor sports arena or whatever, it's outside of the fair. So we're walking back into the fair, and it hits me like a ton of bricks.
Oh, no.
Them shrimp fajitas. Also, let me tell you something. As somebody that has an Asian mother, I have eaten some very questionable food throughout my life. And most of the time, worst case scenario, you get a little gas, your tummy might be a little upset, but whatever, you're fine. No, it was like I'm holding Duff's hand. We're walking back towards the fair, and I'm like, oh, it was like, Duff. We need to run. So I have my son and I'm jerking him with me. I was like, no, dude, we gotta go.
Because that's going to help.
We get inside. The first bathroom we come to, the line is so long, but I don't know where the next bathroom is. And I'm like, I've already started to sweat. I'm already sweating. And I wait patiently in line in the bathroom, not knowing when my innards are just going to release the Kraken. And I'm just like, Duffy, stay outside. Mom will be back. I actually made it to the bathroom. I did not shit my pants like I thought I would. It was a fucking miracle. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Anyway. I was in the bathroom for so long that when I came back out, my son was sitting there crying because he thought I'd left him at the fair. He was just like, I was like, what's wrong? And he was like, oh, I thought you left me. I was like, no, baby, mom's just sick. I had to stop at 2 more.
Mama just lost her asshole.
I was like, I had to stop at 2 more bathrooms before we made it out of the fair. Oh, and then I was even thinking, I was like, do I even need to leave? Do I need to stay where I know there are bathrooms? But I was able to drive home, didn't shit my pants. It's the closest. I am going to say, I'm putting it on record. As an adult, I have yet to shit my pants, but that was the closest, and it scared me so bad. I had so much control, and I don't think I could ever do it again. I think if it ever happened again.
Well, what you've just done to yourself is you just gave yourself the kiss of death.
That's right.
It's going to happen now.
You've talked
as
about
I'm
the
drinking
law
a Miller
of
High
attraction.
Life.
You've called it to yourself.
Oh, yeah. Actually, one of the podcasts I listened to, you were talking about the law of attraction. Nope. What I'm attracting is that my bowels are strong. They can hold tight. They're like a fortress. And like I said, my mom fed me all kinds of questionable stuff, and I have yet to shit my pants. So today ain't the day. Tomorrow ain't looking good either. I think I'm safe. I believe in me. I believe in me.
Should have quit while you were ahead.
Nope. I believe in me. You know, law of attraction. I'm attracting that I'm not going to poop my pants.
Oh, so now you're challenging. Now you're going to shit yourself on the way home now.
No, I've only had 2.5 beers. This is a half beer because it's a regular size.
You don't know what we put in that one, though. Oh, mercy. Yeah, I think I always enjoy the fair. I always loved the fair because back in the day, it was, you didn't have to go back to school till after the fair.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, no. They go back. They've been in school for a week.
I know. It was crazy. I ran into a buddy of mine a week ago, you know, and he was like, yeah, getting the kids ready. They're going tomorrow. And I'm like, what? It's not even, because I used to always I was always like, well, I get my birthday, then you get the fair, then you go back to school.
Right. We had from now, we had a month nearly left.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't start back till late September. Now,
September?
Yeah, and it gradually got
earlier.
It got earlier, but yeah, like when I really can remember it. Yeah, we didn't go back till it was after the fair. I mean, the fair runs 2 weeks. If it starts the second week, then that's late
I don't think
September.
it's like a full 2 weeks. I think it's like 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll say this about that just real quick. Hope everybody gets to see those. That's our Good Guys cigars.
Ooh.
Coffee cups. You'll learn more about that as we go along. But right now would be a good time to take a pause for the cause and hear from a word from our sponsors. Hey, good guys and good gals alike. If you're looking for somewhere to go to get your hair did, then look no further than the Chop Shop Hair Studio. Our longtime friend and supporter, Cindy Lou, opened this spot located in Knoxville's very own Happy Holler back in 2010. Chop Shop Hair Studio offers a variety of services, including facial waxing, accessories, tools, and a complete line of men's and women's products, along with essential oils. A lover and supporter of the musical arts here locally and abroad, Cindy has a small stage with stringed instruments and offers discounts to guests if they are willing to play and or sing a song. The Chop Shop Hair Studio is a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, and 100% pure style, just like our dear friend and owner, Cindy Lou. The hours are Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can also visit thechopshophairstudio.com and or call 865-525-4240 to book your next visit to go and get your hair did. Located at 1206 North Central Street, Knoxville, Tennessee, Chop Shop Hair Studios. Stop by and tell them McGill and Jamie sent you to have one more for the good guys.
I know I'm not winning any money. Who goes in the casino thinking they're actually going to win money? Only idiots do that.
Yeah.
I know I'm losing money, but if I don't lose all of my money, I'm winning. And that's the mindset you have to have. I only lose some of my money, still a winner. I only lose most of my money, still a fucking winner. You're only a loser if you keep putting money into the thing. Like, you got to know, like, I'm only going to spend this much. And if you stop when you say you're going to stop, you're a winner.
I treat it like an arcade. If I take $100
Mom, can I have more money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Mom, I ran out of money already. Can I borrow some more money? I'll do some extra chores.
You have to get it from your dad because I'm dead. I'm not getting nothing for Las Vegas.
Well,
so we go. I have a gambling story though, and that involves.
I thought you were going to say you got a gambling problem.
Yeah, that too. I got a gambling story that involves my father.
Oh right. God!
So we go.
So just to catch Lily up real quick.
Yeah, my dad's a character.
He's still alive?
Oh yeah, yes, very much.
And if you're ever around me and him at the same time, and you hear one of us go.
That's my daddy.
That you're getting ready.
Why isn't he here right now?
Ready to hear an impression or impersonation.
So we go see Merle Haggard at Cherokee. Same trip I saw you. And they're like, Jamie, you want to watch you play blackjack? Play blackjack. You know, like I'm some kind of blackjack guru.
Aficionado.
And I'm not. So I go up there.
I know, you just told us that.
Yeah. I put $200 down and lose it like in 32 seconds. And my
That's something
like,
a loser would do.
Yeah. Well, I wait for it. Wait for it.
It gets worse.
And Dad says, yeah, by God, that's what you get for gambling. And so
he puts $300.
I walk over to a slot machine.
On red on the
swear to God,
table.
this happened. I walked over to a slot machine, put in $1, won it all back in one pull.
Who does Jesus love more now, Daddy? Tell me. He don't love you.
God, look, you're in hell. Yeah. That's why we're here.
We used to go up every year to to Louisville, Kentucky, and I think it was sometime in April. But Jimmy's did this thing for the it's called Thunder over Louisville, and it's a big air show slash.
Had me an air show.
Yeah, I mean, so there's like 1 million people at this thing, and they closed down a huge big main strip in Louisville, right down on the river. Vendors everywhere, so it's very like fair food everywhere.
Okay.
Air show, entertainment, blah 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 blah. I went to first year and to help them, and we went up there, and so we would stay at that Harrah's casino across the river.
Oh yeah, I know exactly where it
in
is.
Indiana.
Yep,
because it wasn't legal in Louisville. All right, furry girl. So we would stay over there, and all those guys with Jimmy's was big gamblers.
Oh, right.
You know,
were they good though? It doesn't matter if you're a big gambler.
Some
you big loser, you big winner.
Well, I mean, you're asking the wrong guy because I'm not to the end of my story yet.
Okay.
And what I think about gambling. So, but Jimmy would go. Rob's dad, the patriarch. Jimmy would go straight to the high limit room. And
Jimmy's got high limit money.
Yeah, and he would stay forever. But they were good enough gamblers that they could lay down $200 and play for
a while,
3 or 4 hours or 2 or 3 hours.
On
you know what I mean?
$200?
Well, goddamn it, everything don't have to line up with the reality. This is a story.
Okay. You're right. Okay. It's a story. It was probably more like $2,000, $10,000. Who knows?
Much less than what I mean. I could walk up, like you said, $200, 30
seconds late. Yeah,
I'm broke. And you're broke.
Well, I'm done now.
So we had gotten there. We got everything set up. We got to the casino. We got our rooms, and everybody's hanging out. And everybody's coming to Jimmy's room or our room or whatever. And where are you guys going to go? I'm going to blackjack tables. Where are you going? I'm going down craps table. Where are you going? I'm going to high limit room. I'm going to here and I'm going there. And I'm just listening and watching and hearing all of this shit. And they're like, Miguel, where are you going?
To the buffet.
I said, I'm going to the fucking bar.
Where I know I'll be successful.
Yeah. And they go, what? I said, yeah, I'm going to the bar. You guys pay for everything while we're here. You pay us to work. What the fuck am I going to go gamble? I'm going back to somewhere I know that I get 100% investment back on my
100% return on your investment. Absolutely.
And, it never failed, an hour to go by, here'd come one of them.
And they'd be sitting at the bar with you.
Yeah.
But they'd be broker than they were when they first started. Yeah.
How you doing? Shit. I'm up. I'm winning.
This is great.
I've done made friends with the bartender and he's pouring me double Jim Beams.
That's a return on investment.
For like $5 a pop, And I'm like,
win-win.
And I don't have to drive. He's not worried about over serving you. And he's just like, you need another? And I'm like, yep.
Yep. I don't know how long my friends are going to be gone for. So yes, please keep them coming.
And here come another one or another group, 2 or 3 or whatever. Yeah. How you doing? Shit, I'm up. I'd slam another one, And every one of them had the same story. Well,
I'm going to guess, except for Jimmy. Jimmy never, ever returned from the high roller room.
No.
You know why?
Because Jimmy was the man.
Exactly. Jimmy had high roller money, which means he never has to come back home ever for no reason. Good for him.
There was 2 years there. We would go and travel, and we stayed at everywhere we wanted to go. Like if we did a baseball trip or football trip or, whatever, that we stayed off of Jimmy's comps at the local, wherever the casino was at, because it was
you spend enough money, they'll give you free rooms so you come and spend more money.
and cheap road trips, basically all your gas. I mean,
all you're out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but at any rate, I just never was. I just never was a gambler. I worked too hard for it.
Yeah,
all
I'm
my
a
life,
low-key
and
gambler.
I have to pay every goddamn body else.
Yeah.
What the hell do I want to pay somebody, you know?
I'm okay with losing a little bit of money. I think that's fair.
But I don't think it's fun either. I'll tell you a funny story.
I'll
tell you a funny story, and here's your clip. So I did a tour with the USO and the Department of Defense to play for the troops. And we're in Puerto Rico one night. And we'll have to break this up into 2 clips, but it's
gonna be a long story.
Well, the first part of the story is how we got there, and the second part of the story is after we were there. So after we were there, we get there and we're at this casino in Puerto Rico, right? And you know, can barely speak enough Spanish, you know, and luckily they spoke enough English that, you know, we didn't get killed or we didn't lose everything we had. But I fell in at the craps table one night and I was ripped. I mean, well lubricated.
Yeah.
You hear me? Ripped.
What's the word for black? Oh, negro. Negro or rojo?
Yeah.
Pick one.
I was ripped. And there was this little guy up he was shooting. And he was hitting everything. I mean, and he stayed up there forever. Well, I knew enough about it beforehand that I seen this going on, and that's when I walked up.
Put all your money on that guy.
Yeah. So whatever he did, I did, right? And he'd shoot him goddamn 7, you know, or whatever it was you had to win. And I was up like $3,000.
That's when you walk away.
I knew nothing about nothing. And drunk hillbilly ass, you know, and so the hook guy started breaking his rhythm. And you could tell what he was doing. And right. Even drunk, I understood. And I'm like, hey man, don't fuck him up, you know, and I start goddamn, he's on fire, you know, and they're like, sir, you can't cuss, you know. Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry.
Even in English? Inglés?
Yeah. And I would, but my classic comeback was, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm green. I don't know anything about the rules or I'm so sorry.
Me
and
verde.
then they had to go it again, and that guy come out and motherfucker, you can't do that. And I said, sir, you can't. And I'm sorry. I'm green. I don't, you know, I don't know anything.
Me verde.
Yeah. So, but at any rate, I was up $3,000 or $4,000 and had no idea what the hell I was doing. And
did you leave with 3?
I was drunk. I didn't know nothing.
I was drunk. That's the story of my life. I was drunk.
Well, here's the deal. I didn't even know I was up until afterwards. I just knew that here we go again.
Right.
And I'm not reaching into my pocket.
They didn't tell me to leave.
But I have no idea of any totals or anything like that, right? And so finally we get done. We're getting ready to go back to our lodging. And the fiddle player that was on tour with us, he was like, do you have any idea what you've just done? And I said, I don't fucking know nothing. I don't even know whose boy I am right now, much less what the hell we've just done. I said, I've had a blast. It's been fun. I've drank a bunch. He's like, you were up $4,300.
Oh, man.
You walked out with one senorita under each arm.
Not even.
Damn.
I got a bunch of pictures.
Well, cool. That's better than nothing.
Yeah. So, but no, I had no idea what I was doing. So that was when I was just like, no, I'm not.
Well, you could have left with one less kidney. So I think you won. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You still won.
Yeah.
And if you would have heard how we got there, you would have understood that I was a really, really big winner. Yeah.
Mucho grande.
But that's the story
Miguel.
for another time.
Yeah.
of how we got there, which was not good. But any rate, and I had no idea about that either. So I'll go ahead and tell it.
Okay.
So we're on the it's basically kind of like it's a golf course, and we had officer clearance with military IDs and all that stuff. And we were put up in officer lodging. So we were in little townhouses, basically. Super nice, everything. We get there, and this is like on the first or second night. And I'm like, I'm going to the PX because I'd heard they had cheap booze. And I went down and got a handle of like Crown or whatever it was. Came back, drank. And we were supposed to meet back out in the parking lot like in a couple of hours.
Oh, that's all the time you needed to finish.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and then we were going to figure out where we were going to go eat and what we were going to do the rest of the night. Well, our liaison had left. I met the guys in the band back at the deal in the parking lot. And all of them, and I'd had a couple of drinks. I wasn't schmammered. No, I wasn't schmammered.
Sure.
Seriously, this is listen.
I'm listening.
There's 1,000 wonders I didn't get put under a fucking military jail that night. You understand? So we get to the parking lot, meeting the guys. We're going to go out to eat and figure out what we're going to do that night. We had the night off. We didn't have to play. And those guys were all like, who's driving? Not it. And the guy pitched me the keys. It's like,
looks like you're driving, McGill.
I'm like, guys, I've had a few drinks, but I mean, I think I'm all right to go, but
I feel like maybe in Puerto Rico that's a tolerable limit.
Could be. Except for the fact that we were in a U.S. government van.
Have you met?
And for the fact that after we were out, after we had ate, and after we had been to the casino, and after we had gotten lost and couldn't figure out how to get back fucking home.
You were still the most sober person there?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, you're the driver.
And they're all laughing. And I'm like, what's so fucking funny? And then it comes out that we didn't have permission to take that fucking vehicle.
McGill.
U.S. government official vehicle.
It's like a scene out of Stripes.
Drunk driving it around an island in Puerto Rico, around the island of Puerto Rico.
McGill, have you ever met?
Around and round, trying to figure out how to get back to fucking camp wherever.
Was that your first rodeo with military dudes? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I know for a fact you were the most qualified person to drive that vehicle. Just sitting here right now telling this bullshit story, you were the most qualified. You're even if you weren't the oldest, you were the least drunk, you win. I don't know.
But I was not the least drunk. I had just lost $4,300 at a crap table. I'm just saying.
Did you?
You look like
did
you
you
can
lose
handle
it, or
That's
did you
what it
win because you didn't put any extra? How much money did you start off with?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
$100, $200.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You were out $200.
Whatever
you
it was.
Win.
It could have been 20. I don't remember.
Exactly.
But, no, I won because we didn't get thrown in the stockade.
In the gulag?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have.
I don't know.
No, I think you're good.
So,
Now, if it had been Mexico,
a little bit different. Yeah.
maybe.
well, we couldn't ever find our way around, We couldn't ever find our way back. And we had stopped at all these different places, and they went in, and nobody spoke enough Spanish, or anywhere we stopped, they didn't speak enough English that we could get back to Fort Buchanan. Or Camp Buchanan, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I finally, it's looking kind of like a little bit of a shady part of town. But there's some kids that are out in the parking lot sitting on the back of their cars, listening to music, and they're drinking beers, like at a gas station.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm pulling in there and talking those. I'll find somebody to talk to here. Because they're just kids out having a good time, enjoying the weekend, whatever. And every one of them were scared to death. Oh my God, we're going to get killed. This is the bad part of town. I'm like,
Mio Gringo Hacienda is all you had to say.
It's you motherfuckers' fault.
That's right. You put me in charge of driving.
Started this shit.
Listen, Mio Gringo Hacienda. And somebody would have been like.
And sure enough, I went up and talked to the kids, and they were all like, young adults, teenagers, whatever. And, they told me exactly how to get back.
Exactly. They don't want you there either.
No.
Yeah. They would have told you exactly how to get back. You worry too much, Mike McGill.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying this was hours in a stolen Army vehicle.
Stripes.
And guess what? Did anything bad happen? It wasn't a motorhome,
but it was similar.
No, luckily nothing bad happened, thankfully.
I'm telling you right now, that is not the worst thing that's happened to that stolen Army vehicle. That is probably the least worst thing ever.
Well, maybe not in somebody else's life, but in Mike McGill's life up to that point, I was, after I figured it all out.
Yeah, but when you were drunk, it was fine. And that was the whole point.
Assholes have fucked me. Any rate.
Well,
there you go.
So wait, that was your worst fair experience?
No.
Jesus. That was a long fair.
No, nearly losing my chain and my girlfriend. That was my worst fair experience.
Yeah. All right.
Did she get onto you for fighting?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Did she go out with you again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Did she think you were cuter, or like did she like you
this
better?
This circle of beauty.
Did she like you better?
This level of sweetness that I bring. Yeah.
Do you think she liked you better afterward?
I don't know.
She was like, "Oh, he's so strong. Oh, he's so strong."
Maybe.
How many people got involved in this fight? It surely wasn't just you two. There was more.
Oh, it was, it started out that way, but,
right.
If for the sake of a good story, there was feet and fists flying everywhere and dust and, I've
seen more than one fight in that tunnel.
Oh, God, yeah. For sure.
People I know.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
If you were going to put money on any of your friends, if you were going to put money on any of your friends, and knowing that they had to win a fight, who would you put money on?
Can't pick herself.
You can pick yourself if you. All right. Well, listen, Jamie.
I'm picking me.
I'm telling you right now. Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Sure about that?
Yeah. No, I mean, I've got some friends. Him. Shane Lane, I'd probably put money on him. I got a few, some tough boys, but
your money's on you.
Well, yeah, I know how I'm going to behave.
Okay, fair enough.
But who else? I mean,
well, there's a big difference between winning a fight and coming home that night.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah, exactly. Like you win in the fight.
At the age I'm at now.
You won't put money on a younger person.
I'm not.
I'd probably put it on my brother.
I'm coming home.
He's pretty tough too. But friends I know, us in our early years.
Well, no, we're not going to any golden years. I'm talking about currently. If you had to put money on one of your friends, like this guy has to fight this random fucking jungle guy that wants to we're putting money on it. Big burly motherfucker. Who's fighting him? Who's going to win?
That's a good question. Like
probably, as far as anybody that I know now, and probably Rick Breeden.
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna change who I was gonna pick because I think you might be right on that. Yeah, Rick Breeden whoop about anybody's ass.
Well, it's not gonna be. It's going to be neutralized like that.
Yeah, it's not going to be dramatic. He's just going to lay this guy down.
And rolling around in the parking lot for what seems like 10 minutes and be 30 seconds. It's just going to be nipped in the bud right there.
All right. I was going to pick my friend Taylor McMurray because that motherfucker fights dirty. And I like that.
Well, see, that's why I put money on me.
I like that on the man.
That's why I put it on me.
That's why
he will do whatever it takes to win. And that's why I would pick him. But now that you mentioned Rick Breeden, now I've changed my mind. Because, yeah, it's not going to be dramatic with Rick, but he's going to lay somebody out and it's just going to be over with real quick and everybody's going to kind of be disappointed. Now, but if you want to fight, my boy Taylor, go knock it out of the park.
You make a good point. Winning a fight and going home, okay.
Well, that's why you want to pick somebody that doesn't care whether they go home or not. That's the guy you want, right? Am I wrong?
Well, no, it's just your opinion. I mean, it's just like your opinion, dude.
Yeah, my opinion don't mean shit. Yeah, you're right.
It totally means as much as it needs to mean. I mean, it's yours.
All right, so if you had to pick a guy to fight with you, does that change everything? Oh, now we're tapping cups.
I mean, let's put some parameters on this. Are we talking? We talking about if somebody shows up at a bar and runs their mouth, and I have no option? There's no option.
I like that. I like that.
If we're
doing hypotheticals, yeah. Which guy do you want with you? Okay, you're at a bar. Some big motherfucker is running his fucking yapping his jaw, and he wants to stomp your ass. Who do you want with you?
Somebody with a knife.
Yeah, well, and that's Taylor. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I pick.
I want the
knife guy. If you got one person, I'm picking me because I'm always carrying something.
Are you knifing somebody?
No, I'm probably going to.
Yeah, because you don't want to go to prison, but that's why you pick the friend.
No, I carry a baton.
Oh.
Less than lethal. Okay. Carry 3 at all times.
I'm probably batons? Wait, hold on. Sorry, Mike, not to interrupt. You carry 3 batons or 3 weapons?
3 weapons.
What 3 weapons you carrying?
I carry a knife, a baton, and a firearm.
All the time?
All the time.
All right, I will say I have a multi-tool, a pocket knife. I don't carry a gun with me, but I'm a lady.
But there's a reason I do that. If I can't
just spit on you and you go away, I'm going to have to, what else do I have?
You cannot. Listen,
my big scary friend.
You cannot make me fight unless you put your hands on me.
Oh.
There's nothing you can say.
That's a big one.
Because I got way too much to lose. There's nothing you can say to me.
That's the thing.
But you put your hands on me.
more than likely, I'm gonna figure out a way to de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, that's
every time.
Every time. I don't want to fight.
Okay.
Unless, like Jamie says, somebody's assaulted you.
Yeah.
And put their hands on you, then that means different. I have legal rights to defend myself.
Well, then probably need to keep them get hurt. I just don't. People running now 20, 30 years ago been different.
For years.
But now I'm too old to fight, and
I got too much to lose. Well, I ain't doing that no more.
Well, for years, on the road with the drunk uncles and stuff, we'd be out, and I don't know why this is, but this happens. The biggest, nicest person that you could, somebody always wants to challenge this person.
Man, I'll fight for the nicest person as a lady.
I don't think I've ever been in a fight that I wasn't taken up for somebody.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I never started a fight.
No.
I tried to a few times.
I never started one, but I finished one.
But like for years, anytime we played and we were out with the drunk uncles, we had this drummer named Eric Keeble. And Eric is he's a sweetheart of a guy. Nicest guy you'll ever meet, but he is one of those guys that'll rip your arms off and beat you to death with them.
Good.
And it never failed. If we were playing in a club or a bar somewhere, I'd get a tap on my shoulder and I'd turn around and it'd be Eric. And he'd be like, McGill,
I gotta do something real quick.
No, this is the way it went down every time. It's like, McGill, you see that guy over there in the baseball hat or whatever? I look and I say, yeah, I see him.
Seen him.
I'm going to kill him. if you don't do something about it, and I'd be like, okay. So I'd go over there and slide up next to the guy and fill out the situation, talk, and buy the guy a drink. And next thing you know, I just have to tell the guy, I'll just be like, look,
he's gonna
you
kill
see that guy over there? That's the meanest white man you've ever met in your fucking life because you've pissed him off and you've been picking on him. I'm going to do you the biggest kindness anybody can do you tonight and let you know that you should leave that alone. And I'm going to save your life.
Did it work?
9 times out of 10, it did.
But what about the 10th time out of 10?
Well, then he...
Whoop his ass and break his arms off and beat him to death with him?
Yeah.
Yes.
I seen him get kicked. First move, guy was running his mouth and he kicked him square in the balls. No, my buddy got kicked square.
Oh, man.
That was the guy that was starting shit. That was his first move. Hauled off and punted him right in the nuts. And Eric just grabbed him by the shirt like that and went and pulled him. And when he pulled him,
double force
and
just
knocked him out.
Colder and crowd. And the cops were there and we're like, what do we, and the guy comes to and he's like, that guy just did.
Cold clock me. And he's like, no,
you're asking for it, dickhead.
So what is he your choice if you got in a bar fight? Is he now is he your new Rick Breeden?
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, out of people that I know now,
yeah,
for sure. But those days are long gone. I'm not interested.
If you find somebody that's trying to start a fight, they're easy to whip. You don't find guys that can really
fight.
Not especially now, when you're a kid or whatever, people will fight for fun. But now you find somebody like that, it's the guy that doesn't say a whole lot that
you have to worry about.
You don't have to worry about an aggressor.
Well, I agree with you. I've had men get buck towards women and stuff. And that's the thing. I don't even care if I get my ass beat. Well, it would suck. But I'll run my mouth to somebody. I'll run my mouth, especially if they started it. Well, let's go.
That was sarcasm.
Let's go. No, but you're right. Those people are the worst people and they ain't going to do anything about it either. And I'm going to pop off too.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's my first thing is I'm going to do everything I can to
disengage.
I'm exiting. I don't want nothing.
Yeah.
You're not going to try to escalate it and see if they do anything with it?
I've got nothing to prove.
No, because there's no good ending. There's no good ending. If somebody's going to get hurt or dead.
You really think so?
Well, I don't. You never can tell. I don't.
You watch the news?
Yeah.
You read the fucking paper?
I don't. You can't underestimate anybody. And if
maybe it's my day to die.
Could be.
Yeah.
Might be, but
I think about that sometimes. I'm like, maybe this is how I die.
I just don't.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to get murdered. I'm okay with that.
But if I'm out with people and somebody tries to jump on them and
today's the day.
That's different, I've been in some on Cumberland and so forth. But I just don't. I'm like you. I de-escalate it until I don't. Then that's the end of it.
Until you don't.
Well, again, until somebody physically puts their hands on you, you have no legal recourse if it ever makes it to that part. But once someone puts their hands on you, then that's assault, plain and simple, in the eyes of the law.
Yeah, but are we working within the parameters of the law now?
Well,
what parameters are you working in? Oh, actually, so this is one of the things I thought of.
That's the way I'm thinking.
Okay,
because
you don't want to go to prison. At the end of the day,
I don't want to go to prison.
Fair enough.
Or jail. I don't want to go anywhere but home.
No.
Have you been to jail though?
Yeah.
Have you been to jail?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's not fun.
No.
It could be worse. So
yeah, you could stay there. That's the worst. That's the worst part.
The worst part is you might never leave.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was thinking about when I was listening to the podcast is like I love bizarre things, but one of the things I thought about is, have you guys ever done a morality alignment test to see where you fall?
I don't think so, and not in some kind of official capacity.
Well, there's no official capacity. This
I
shit's
didn't
all
know if
made
this
up.
was something that
I administer to people.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Take this morality test.
Take this morality test and tell me where you fall.
You might be the first person I whip their ass.
He said he'd only whip my ass if I put my hands on him first. So we'll see.
Yeah.
First time for everything.
We got more beer too.
Yeah. We've only just begun, Mike McGill. So
no, I didn't know if this is something that I just
made up right now, or if it was real.
God damn it.
Well, you obviously have. So what is your score?
I seen it.
What'd you come across? Is this like a
okay? Well, you guys
get on with it.
Okay.
Jesus.
Have y'all ever heard of Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, so you're chaotic evil. Is that what you landed?
No, I'm a chaotic neutral.
I don't believe that.
Do you know what that means? So so it's like a grid system. It's like lawful, neutral, evil, good, neutral, evil, and then lawful, neutral, and then, I guess unlawful, whatever that other one is. But you fall somewhere in this grid based on how you make decisions and how you choose to live your life. And for the most part, I'm pretty neutral because I feel like most rules are fucking bullshit. And like, I'm not a piece of shit, but I'm no saint either. So here I am falling somewhere in the middle of this weird grid that I might be an orc or something. I don't know. So if you were on this grid, if you were just to guess, would you be good or evil? Would you be chaotic or neutral or lawful?
I'm going to tell you where I'm at on this fucking grid. There's 10 bad motherfuckers in this world, and every year I get 9 Christmas cards. So
from the 9 baddest motherfuckers?
No, he don't send himself one. That's what he's saying.
Oh, dum-dum, bad. But do you feel like you're evil?
No, hell no.
Do you feel like you're lawful? Yeah, at least you worrying about laws. I don't worry about laws. That's the difference between you and me and Mike McGill.
Yeah, lawful neutral. Fine. That's where I would be.
A lawful neutral.
Yeah.
So you're not good and you're not evil, but you do follow some prescribed rules, but you're not on some kind of
I feel like you got to follow. There's a lot of rules you have to follow to break some.
I used to think that too, or maybe you don't prescribe to any of the rules and you just live your life.
Now, if you'd asked me 20 years ago, I'd probably fell into a completely different category.
I actually thought about asking you guys to take the test before I came down here just to see.
Well, it'd be fun.
Just like going to the fair.
That's chaotic evil.
That's chaotic evil.
Kind of why I was asking, how did you come up with this? Is there something that we can do?
She's been playing Dungeons and Dragons.
But what I got in return was, goddamn, shit, fuck, hell.
She opens this story, the whole conversation up like, if you're in a bar fight, who are you going to pick to fight with you?
Exactly. And that's the whole point of the story.
Chaotic neutral, my ass.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to pick your chaotic friend that is at least neutral, maybe even evil, because you don't want your lawful good friend to be in the bar because they'll be like, oh no, guys, let's just talk it out. No, fuck that. I want my chaotic evil friend there. Because he'll take care of it.
No, he's just fighting for himself, though.
Oh, my chaotic neutral friend.
Yeah, well, he's not fighting for anybody.
Yeah.
He's just fighting.
He's fighting for chaos.
Yeah.
He's not fighting for anybody.
It depends on your alignment. Let's say that you're a neutral.
I think I'm a true neutral.
Okay, and if he's not on the neutral, then he's not fighting for you.
He ain't fighting for nobody, but the point is he'll fight. That's the whole point. Yeah. I want him because he'll fight. Don't want the lawful people or the good people because they don't want to fight. I want a fighter.
No, they don't want to get caught.
That's not their first.
They don't want to get caught.
But that doesn't mean that they don't. That just
they'll fight, but only when pushed to the blah blah blah. If there's no other avenue, blah blah blah.
All right, shitbird. First thing that comes to the mind.
Okay.
Favorite Christmas.
My favorite Christmas ever?
Yeah.
Favorite Christmas song?
First thing comes to mind. Favorite
Mariah
Christmas.
Carey.
Not song, goddammit. Favorite Christmas.
I I love Christmas.
I didn't say favorite Christmas song.
Every Christmas is my favorite Christmas.
Okay.
I love Christmas.
Your best vacation.
Oh, ever of all time?
First thing that pops into your mind, your best vacation.
My best vacation, Ireland.
All right. Best fair food.
Corn dog.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you got 3 wishes, what would they be?
I want to, so we were talking about this. Amanda Lane and I were talking about this. Like, how can we make the most of our 3 wishes? I want to be as healthy as possible until I die. But she was like, but what if you die 2 days later? And I was like, that's some shit some genie would do. I want to have, 50 years of perfect health in the best shape of my life. And then I die. I don't know. That's my number 1 wish.
But our wish, no tricks, just straight wishes.
No
tricks. The wish giver's not going to trick you.
They're going to trick you every time.
It's our rule.
Your rule.
We're giving the wishes.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm real.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here in front of you asking you this.
But also, can we wish for things for other people?
This ain't no
can we wish
Dungeon
for
and
things for the
Dragons.
world?
You got 3 wishes.
This ain't no Dungeon and Dragon bullshit that I'm going to make fun of you about. It's just, I'm just looking for some first thing that pops to your head.
Okay, so the thing for me was like, I want to have the best health possible for whatever, like 40, 50 years. Okay, second wish. Maybe nobody's hungry.
No, you can't do worldwide stuff. It's got to be for you.
It's
got to be for you.
Just for me?
Yeah.
Okay, what else do I want?
So you're healthy.
Anywhere I go, no one can deny me. I'm not going to ask for horrible shit. I need another beer. I need another cigarette. I need another beer. I need another cigarette. I need you to let me on this airplane. Okay. That's pretty easy. My third one, what else do I need, Jamie? What the fuck else do I need?
And we're asking
bigger boobs,
you.
bigger butt. All right, number 3.
Okay.
If these are all for me, okay.
If you could live in any decade forever, which one would it be?
1980s. My hair's this big. I'm wearing not shoulder pads. I'm wearing tight clothes. Every time I bend over, my pants split.
Okay.
Not on that.
Well, that was your third wish.
I love that answer. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
The Mediterranean. I want good weather. I want
beautiful.
Good food. I want people to try to talk to me and be like, no habla.
That was my first wish, the food one. You can eat or drink anything you want with no repercussions.
Well, like perfect health, but also like, can I have a beer? Can I have a cigarette? Can I have a siesta?
Can I have 17 honey buns? That kind of
Can I sleep on your couch? Can I sleep on, can I borrow your car? Hey.
If you had a time machine, where would you go?
I'm going to say this. As a woman in this era, I don't feel like if I did go back in time, it would have to be really far back in time and be like, I'm a magician, worship me. Like, because if you don't go far back enough, I'm somebody's wife or slave.
You'd probably get burned at the stake.
Or get burned at the stake. So I either have to go back 2,000 years or I stay right here in 1980.
Best book you've ever read?
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
First thing pops to your head.
There's no first thing that pops in my head.
Okay, then take your time there.
I'm a huge
Special K.
Yep. I'm a huge Steinbeck fan. I'm a huge Vonnegut fan.
Okay.
But man, I'm also a nerd and I loved all of the Game of Thrones books.
Okay.
All the books.
They were so good.
They were not all so good. The first 3 were fantastic. And the
you
rest
read all them books?
The rest of them. Right here, George Martin. Go ahead.
He didn't even finish the last.
I know. Double on that. Not finishing.
Anyway.
Okay.
Fucked
if
it up
you could meet one
thing.
man and or one woman in history, who would it be and why?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh. Wait a minute. I still may have a chance. Bully!
He's like a hero of mine. I love Theodore Roosevelt. A woman, though, not that I'm hating woman or anything, but any woman in any era, I never actually thought about that. I'm going to need more time for that one.
Okay. What's your dream car?
So my dream car, well, obviously, them good old boys. No, no, just kidding. I want to do a Smokey and the Bandit. That's what I want. I want a Trans Am.
Okay.
And I want to wreck 4 of them, and they still give me another one.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Just for the movie. Yeah.
Let's see.
I do like a.
What was your first car?
A 74 Chevy Nova.
All right.
But they took
2-door?
No, I had a $900 Chevy Nova. It was a 4-door coupe. It was a family car, and they took the V8 out because that was what was valuable in the car at the time. And they put a V6 in it, and it was the worst car ever. If I had to go up a hill, I knew I had to goose it because there's no way that tiny little engine could drag that fat ass car up a hill unless I fucking pounded on the gas pedal first. And it was baby shit green.
Oh.
A lot of them were.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
If you're the president,
God.
What would you do?
Everybody pray for America.
What would you do?
I'm dissolving the United States of America. Everyone's on their own. Godspeed. God be with you. Good luck with that.
Okay. Favorite wrestler?
Wrestler ever of all time? Woo! Woo!
That's my girl. That's my girl.
Or macho.
Oh, yeah. Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Like I said, I don't give a fuck about sports, but I'm here for the fuckery.
All right. Favorite actor?
I don't really watch a lot of movies, but if I did, my favorite actor.
They have actors on TV too.
You mean by when you say most favorite actor, you mean most handsome?
Whatever.
Okay.
It's your favorite. You can qualify it any. You can run
Robert
it through your
Redford.
fucking stupid Dungeon and Dragon bullshit scale if you want to.
I don't even Dungeon and Dragons, but if you ever done the scale, you'd understand.
I wanted to, and I got made fun of.
Okay.
So your favorite actor?
Robert Redford, because he's the most handsome.
Okay. A lot of people tell me I look a lot like Robert Redford.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Favorite beer?
Miller Lite, but I'm drinking a High Life because I'm brand loyal.
That's all right.
That's all we had.
What's your favorite?
Also, that's all they had.
What's your favorite album?
This is very important. This could get you kicked out of the honky tonk right here.
Favorite album or favorite? Okay, album start to finish.
Favorite album?
God damn! Hold on. Give me a minute.
Yeah, take your time. I'm not going to sit and make fun of you like you did me.
Okay.
While you're trying to think of your answer.
I might, though.
Okay, I don't know that I have a favorite album ever of all time, but one of the albums that I listened to start to finish that I forgot that I really loved was Foreigner.
Okay.
It was so good. I forgot how good it was. I was like, God damn, this whole album is like slaps every fucking song.
It's urgent.
So urgent.
Candy bar.
My favorite. I don't like candy normally. Candy bar. I like peanut butter. No, I like gummy shit. Does that count? It's not a candy bar. Okay, whatever. Next one. Next question.
Horror movie.
Wait, what?
Horror movie.
I don't watch that shit because I don't want my brain to rot out. Like who? Okay, so I told you I didn't like movies and I don't like sports either. So my little lizard brain can't handle that much stimulation, or maybe I like different forms of stimulation. I don't like movies. I don't like candy bars.
I go with different forms of stimulation.
Oh yeah.
And thinking about
favorite
Teddy
acid
Roosevelt.
trip. I can tell you that.
Okay. What about your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, I've got multiple.
See.
So I love Christmas. Of course, I love Christmas Story, and I love Family. Yeah, like the Griswolds, and I love Ernest Ernest Does Christmas. I like
Saves Christmas.
Saves Christmas.
Yeah.
But I'd probably say, man, you're shoot your eye out. I love that shit.
That's my favorite too.
How do you not love that? Well, I love all of them, and I love the Griswolds too.
Yeah. If I had a bell, I'd ding it for you. Favorite dessert?
Ever of all time?
Your favorite?
I'm not allowed to have too much sugar.
I couldn't imagine why.
Okay, there are several desserts I like, but I'm not like, I don't feel like I like food enough to have like a favorite. I like a lot of little things, but not enough to make it my favorite. I like brownies. I like strawberry shortcakes. I like.
What's your favorite?
I don't know.
First thing pops in your mind.
I don't know. My mom didn't love me enough to make me, like, my mom didn't make desserts. I don't know.
Your mom's not here. What's your favorite dessert? I'm not letting you off on this one.
Man, my
strawberry
favorite.
Shortcake?
No, I don't think it's my favorite. I enjoy it. It's very fresh and light. If I was going to have a little fat girl moment and nobody was looking.
That's what I'm talking about. I need your deepest, darkest.
I want a fudgy brownie thing with peanut butter on top, I guess. All right.
God, I love you so much.
Nailed it?
Nailed it. All right. I think that's all I got for you.
Is that what you watered me down to? Is what my favorite brownie was?
No, it was a whole goddamn list of questions.
So why Teddy Roosevelt?
Man, I look up to him so much. I always felt like I was a Renaissance person. And if I could ever be like anybody, I would be like him because he did it all. Like him being a politician is just a small part. He was a sportsman. He was a good father. He was a loving husband. He did everything. Like he fought for our country in so many different ways to like make things better. And he actually tried to be a good person and represent people the best way he could. Like he worked with the police departments to try to crack down on corruption. Like everything about him was so, actually, as a true neutral, it's kind of funny that I love somebody so like lawfully good, but it's just like a respect thing because it's something that I don't have. Yeah, bully. It's something that I don't have in me, but if I recognize it in another person and on that level, it was so much more than me or anybody else I've ever met could ever do. And that was what was respectable about it, was just like he took it to such another level that even somebody that was a total garbage, like chaotic evil person could still see it and respect it, you know? Like anybody could see that and be like, that is what a man should be.
He started the national parks too.
Yes. And everything. Yeah. He started everything. He used to swim in the Potomac just for exercise. Like everything. And he never did anything for clout or for respect. He did it because he thought, like he either wanted to, which I also respect. Like I respect people that do things not because they feel like they have to, but because they want to, which is the big thing. But also he just felt like it was the right thing to do and he just did it. And he just, and sometimes he would even put aside his family that he loved to do the thing that he thought was right, which is super fucking cool.
All right.
And he was on Night at the Museum. So there's that.
Sure. Yeah. Cool.
Most people didn't even know who he was. Generation.
I know.
Who's that guy?
Oh, really?
Oh, it's Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin.
It was Robin Williams, but he did a good job, I think.
Yeah. So tell us. So one of the things that I remember that I wanted to be sure and ask you about was you had a desire and to get your pilot's license. Where did that come from? Did you get it? Did you finish it? Are you going back, or all the other good stuff with it?
So where did that desire come from? I think if you've ever wanted to do something, I think that that desire just comes out of like, you're just like, I want to do that. And then you just commit to it and you lean into it. And
you didn't think maybe one day the world could hey, let me finish. That maybe one day Mike McGill might be in trouble and I may have to fly up there to the honky tonk and get him and save his life. That wasn't part of it.
No, I think if you've ever truly, really desired something so hard deep down inside of you that you will forsake all other things to make it happen. And that was the thing that I did. I just thought, and actually it was the craziest thing. I was waxing one of my clients' eyebrows and he was a pilot and he was telling me about it. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I've always wanted to do it. And he looked at me and he was like, well, why don't you? And that's all it took. Like, sometimes all it takes is some little thing and something clicks in your brain. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Well, let me tell you why not. Shit's expensive.
Yeah.
It's very cost prohibitive for normal ass people to do.
Right.
But let me tell you, Mike McGill, as a single mother with a small child, I ate ramen and didn't drink beer and didn't smoke cigarettes and didn't do anything fun for a whole fucking year. Because I wanted to do, like, after he told me that, I was
how long ago was this?
More than 10 years ago, like 12 years ago.
Was it really that long?
Yeah, it was. Oh, you know how I know? Because I went on another lesson. That's a whole nother story recently. And I looked at my logbook and I was like, oh my God, it was that long ago. So when he told me that, I was like, you know what? You're right. I'll take one lesson. And if I don't like it, I never have to do it again. But if I do like it, we'll see. I took one lesson and it was the coolest shit I've ever done in my life.
You were hooked.
And I was like, I have to do this again. So I forsook like all the things, like I love beer, I love cigarettes, I love fucking around, I love doing what I want to do. But I was like, I'm going to buckle down and make this happen. And I can't do it all at once. So I got to spread it out over time. So, but I leaned into it and I did it. And the guy that was my instructor was a mean old ex-Navy pilot. And he was a mean old motherfucker. Yeah, I loved him. I loved him. Yeah. He was the worst. Mm-hmm. John Burt. Never forget his name. He was great. And I remember he asked me one day, he was like, so what do you do again? I was like, I'm a hairdresser. And he was like, well, that's the first one of those I've ever had, because everyone else he had was a doctor or a dentist or an accountant. He'd never had a poor person before. Well, guess what? Here I am, John Burt. And I did it and I got my license, and it took me forever too, because I'm a dumbass.
Well,
took me a little bit longer than usual. Not much. Because time is money and money is time, because you pay by the hour. But I did it, and I was so proud of myself for even being able to do it. But after I did it, I realized that I wasn't very good at it. Sometimes in life, you have to be real with yourself and realize that maybe this isn't the thing you need to do. And when the thing that you're doing is incredibly cost prohibitive and you ain't got no money, then maybe you also need to recognize that this isn't something that you continue doing, and that's okay too. But I did it. I got the license, and then I transferred over to they have flying clubs where you just pay a monthly fee to have access to planes. You still have to pay to rent the plane, but it's cheaper than renting it from a private company.
Right.
And so I did that for a little while until I almost landed a plane in the Tennessee River, and it scared me so bad that I was like, I'm out. I'm done.
Did you just think it was going to be a good idea to land one in the river? Or
no.
What? How did we get to this point?
Mike McGill, I was dating this guy, and I was trying. I was trying. He was real cute, and I was like, "Hey, I can fly. God. Guess what? I can fly airplanes."
He looked like Teddy Roosevelt or Robert Redford.
No, he was too handsome. That was a problem.
My fucking case, bully.
He is too handsome, and I was trying to impress him. I was like, "Guess what? I can fly airplanes. You want to go in an airplane?" He should have known when I almost killed us on the way just driving to the tiny airport, but he didn't. He still agreed to get in a plane with me, and so we get up. And we're buzzing around. I'm like, isn't this cool? Don't you think it's so cool? I'm not the coolest girl you've ever been on a date with. And then I go into land. And the airstrip there is just like a little grassy airstrip. So if you don't
And we're talking about Island Home.
No.
it's the other one.
Island Home is a cakewalk.
Okay.
This was Sky Ranch.
This is the one right now on the Alcoa Highway.
Yeah,
right there.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's grass,
All right.
and it's a third of the length of Island Home,
All right.
and it's all grass. And grass compared to pavement is very slick. So if you-
Slickery.
It's very slick. So if you don't land in the first third of it, you gotta take off and go back around and try again. You gotta keep trying again until you can land in the first third of it.
Right.
Because if you don't, you'll even if you stop on it, you'll roll into the river on your landing. So I come in, I realize I'm touching and bouncing. I'm not gonna stop. So I know I have to go around. And you have to come in there with flaps too, because flaps also drop the angle of descent so where you can descend steeper. So instead of slowly bleeding them off, flaps give you lift. So when you cut them off, you lose that lift. Well, my dumbass was just like, we're going around. And I lost lift. I almost touched trees, and then I almost touched the river. And then the whole time I was like, oh my God, we're going to die. And this man was like, you've got this. We're fine. And I'm so glad, because you have a yoke on both sides. I'm so glad he didn't touch anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad he didn't like panic and pull things. So I was able to get it back around and eventually land it. But I came, I don't know, within 30 or 40 feet of the river. And I had a mild anxiety attack, but him being like, you've got this, this is fun, talked me out of it enough to be able to maneuver it back around. So by the time I touched ground, he was fine. I didn't even care about him at this point. Now I'm mortified.
Well, of course.
Because I almost landed $100,000 plane in the river.
All you were trying to figure out was how am I going to dig this seat cushion out of my ass that I'm sucked up in here.
Oh, no. Lily has enough shame to be like, oh my God, all the old guys in the clubhouse had to have seen that. Because there are always old. Okay, let me tell you something. Like, you think, like, the biggest old guy club ever is in the clubhouse of a fucking airplane plane. Like, these men, all they do is sit around and talk about airplanes, and they're sitting in the clubhouse. And I was like, oh my God, they watched that happen. Oh my God. So I land the airplane. He's fine. I'm like, fuck you. I got to go see what the old guys are thinking. I ran in there and I was like, did you guys see what almost happened? And they all turned to me and they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, you guys didn't see that? And they were like, nope. And I turned around, I walked back out, and I was like, oh, thank God. They didn't see it. And then the panic set in, and I was like, oh my God, they didn't see it. Oh my God, I could have landed in the river and nobody would have known. And that was when I was like, I'm done. I don't need to fly an airplane no more. I'm good. I'm out.
Is that where you've been taking lessons? Is it Sky Ranch?
No, I'd taken
So you just thought it would be a great idea to go to a third lesson?
Listen, I'm poor. It was cheaper. Jamie.
So let me ask you a question. With the flying stuff, do you know a girl named Jackie Shipe?
No. Do I need to know a girl named Jackie Shipe?
I don't know. Jackie's someone I went to school with from mascot all the way through. And I think she's a pilot, but
she
has something to do with, I think
Sky
she
Ranch
has.
or
Let me finish. She has something to do with teaching or something, or instruction.
I will say this. If you're ever going to become a pilot, part of the thing, like, you have to build hours. And part of the way to build hours without having to pay for it is to be a flight instructor. Somebody will pay you $10 an hour so that you don't have to pay for your flight hours to instruct other people to do it. So a lot of people do that.
Okay.
But man, it's like a whole thing. Like, people that become pilots have to go through so much shit to do it. And for a hot minute, I was like, well, maybe I want to be a pilot. And then I was like, no, fuck this. Like, even people that go through school, like, they accumulate just as much debt as a doctor to become a pilot. So that's why when people panic about getting on flights, that person worked their dick off. And on top of that, they have so much experience. You don't have to worry about that person. Like, that guy has flown so many little shit planes that the big plane that pretty much flies itself is your least is the least of your worries.
Yeah.
If that guy can get you out of anything, and they actually, the whole point of flight training, especially in those small planes, is to teach you how to crash, which is crazy. And also, that was another thing I realized after the fact. I was like, oh my God, thank God for my crash training. And I was like, oh my God. Like, they know you're gonna crash so hard that they teach you what to do so that you don't crash.
Right.
And I was like, this is too much for me.
Well, it could be inevitable. I mean,
well, especially in a small plane, like you don't have that many redundant systems. You have one propeller. If your propeller goes out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't need that kind of pressure in my life. You can't pull over in an airplane. That's all I know.
But you did it.
Yeah. I did it and I didn't die and I didn't kill anybody else.
Did the guy see you after that?
Yeah, he did. Which I was just like, oh my God, he'll never want to talk to me again. I was like, this dumbass, look at this stupid motherfucker. He's still around, dum. Well, everything else, this is all your fault now.
Where's he at now?
He's living in Nashville.
Gotcha.
As far away as he could get from the Sky Ranch, I guarantee.
Or a river.
A river.
Yeah, he's out.
Well, listen, I've had a blast.
Have you?
Well,
that's just what we say.
Yep. It's been great.
No, I have. I've had a good time.
Getting's been good, but now it's time to get.
No, you got to get. I'm just saying, I've had a good time having you on. You've always been
pleasure.
Well, you've always been very kind to me, and you've always been a nice person around me, and I appreciate that. And I consider you a friend, and it was nice to have you here. And you're welcome back anytime if you want to bring your Dungeon and Dragon
alignment test,
Horseshack test back, or what the fuck ever it was that I got cursed out for.
Google it.
They didn't play Dungeons and Dragons and mascot.
That I was just trying to understand. But no, seriously. Sleek and Destroy.
Yeah.
That's the name of your business.
Yeah.
And you are at Lefty's Barbershop on Chickamauga Avenue here in North Knoxville. People want to book appointments or any of that stuff, just get a hold of you through that number.
Or
how do we do all
Instagram
that stuff?
or whatever. Honestly, I'm not trying to pick up no offense to anybody out there in internet land. If you want me to give you a haircut, that's cool. But I prefer people that come through referrals from my own clients, because I'm at the point in my life where I like doing what I do and I want to continue liking what I do. So I only want to deal with people that I like.
Fair enough.
I cracked a beer and it just spilled everywhere.
Well,
I didn't shake it up.
You should.
I didn't either.
Probably.
I had to do it.
Start drinking it. Maybe that's.
All right, well, that's where I messed up.
That would be a novel idea, I suppose. I was going to say something a little that would probably been taken or misconstrued as being crueler, but
no, go for it.
No, moment's too late now. But nonetheless, love you. You're beautiful. You're talented. You've always been such a good friend, and you're welcome back anytime. You can leave a lot of that attitude outside next time you come back, but more than that, we appreciate you. Hey, folks, you heard it here first. Stay tuned. Check out our Instagram, our Facebook, all our social media stuff, our YouTube channel. I know I say this every week, but this is a really simple, easy, free way that actually does help our channel. Just go like and subscribe it. I don't give a fuck if you ever watch it again. Just do it. It's a total, easy, free way that helps us. So if you enjoy our content and you'd like to do that, we'd appreciate that. Stay tuned to hear more about Good Guys Cigars. And a lot of that information will be coming out here shortly. Jamie, you want to do another one?
as long as it's not with her.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm coming back. I'm going to make it worse next time.
First time ever.
Listen. First time he was like, nah, I'm out.
Oh, yeah. Let's do another one.
No, let's do another one. And we'll do another one with Lilly too. Hey, love y'all. Remember, be kind, be nice to people. Anybody can be an asshole. It doesn't cost anything to be kind, but there is a price to pay for cruelty. So always remember that. Love y'all, mean it. See you next time. That's one more for the good guys. You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find.